Minds of Phandelver.
Welcome to D&D with THC, Lost Minds of Phandelver, episode 14. And I'll hand it over to the DM, Jared. Take it away, Jared.
Seems like the name Phandelver just loses like its enunciation and pronunciation.
Phandelver, Phandelver.
It gets a different meaning every time. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. It's been a little bit of a. It's been a hot minute, but when our intrepid crew last left off, they were battling it out with a very horny horse, in which they beat miraculously with quite fervor. Ganja coming away from his bonds and dealing the killing blow. You guys are now in the middle of a field with a dead unicorn that you've successfully drained, I think, quite a few vials of blood from. I believe last time I checked, you guys removed its entire head instead of going after the horn. And now you are basically standing in a field.
I want its hoofs.
You want its hoofs?
Yeah, I want to make arrows out of it. I want to make arrowheads out of its unicorn hoofs.
You want to make arrowheads out of its unicorn hooves? Wow, okay.
So the notes from last time didn't save either. So whatever we had, I don't know what it was.
Oh, shit. I don't even know if I saved it.
I think we had like 5 tries at it, and we got 3 out of 5.
No, I got 4 out of 5. I got 90%.
Come on, none of those notes? Because, I mean, the other thing is, too, is that, does that mean you don't have no idea where any of your, what you actually got for treasure? Because you guys went rooting, too.
Yeah. Last thing I got in the notes is killed orcs and wyvern tor. We need to go check out the orc hideout before we leave.
Jeff, weren't you last time? I thought you actually had to open up another notes thing because you made a whole new.
No, I did make a whole new one.
So where is that?
That's the one that he's looking at.
Oh.
Yeah, but last time he said now it will save. I remember that, but
I didn't say nothing about saving. I said now you'll be able to edit it without a problem. You still got to hit file save.
Well, shit.
File save. Never had to hit file save before.
I don't check on the one that you did. You haven't been doing notes on this one. Mm-hmm. Checking the one that's on your desktop.
Well, worst case scenario,
I definitely put in.
Worst case scenario, if only we actually recorded these things and we can go back and watch.
Yeah.
So check on the one that you've been doing on your desktop, though.
Yeah, we will. We will certainly look back to that during break and see if we can find it. Anyway,
we couldn't get it to work on this one for a bit.
That was not. I'll check. Yeah, we'll look anyway.
Trying to remove a unicorn hoof is going to be an interesting endeavor. Not exactly proficient with a knife, but I mean, you know your way around it, so you can certainly give it a shot to remove the 4 hooves of the unicorn. So you're going to grab out one of your daggers. Make a nature check, please. Or sorry, a survival check.
Did anybody remove the horn?
It was last time.
No, none of us know how to do it.
Pop out the unicorn. We have 10 vials of unicorn blood. A whole head. Yes.
So Richter, you managed to remove the first hoof intact. Hooves are, I mean, they're hard. They're made out of the same stuff actually that your fingernails or your hair is made out of, actually similar to the horn because it's all the same organ. They're relatively hard, not any harder than a rock or anything else like that. You don't necessarily think they'll be, by the feel of them, you don't think they'll make amazing arrowheads, but I mean, you can certainly put them on for flair. To your knowledge, they don't provide any kind of magical capability to your arrows.
All right, then I'll just toss it at one of the zombies.
Okay, so you, so actually, funny enough, I think, Dab Zombie actually managed to heal up. So you whip it off at one of the zombies that's standing beside you. It just sort of pings off his head, and he goes, and just sort of pops back and then moves over. You guys are in the middle of the field. This creature before you, its head has been removed. Several vials of blood have been gotten from it. as you guys are standing there, you just start seeing these wisps again, back and forth. I need everybody to make a perception check. So Richter, Ganja, Gideon, Pino, and Dab gets in there last, not least. So all of you recognize these. These are the same things that came after you before. They're pixies just flying in and around. You start to hear little murmurs of voices. You just like as you hear this, you just hear dead, 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 dead. And you see these pieces start to like circle around the unicorn as well. Just sort of you're starting to notice like impacts on the horse's hind and skin as well. Basically, them kicking it and prodding it and so on.
They're brave lot once it's already dead, huh, fellas?
Sure as hell are. Those annoying little bastards.
I wonder if they found out whatever it was. Pack beast.
So,
did we loot this whole cave?
Yes. Pino and Dab were the first ones in there. Pino did not give Dab much time to go in alone for obvious reasons. As well, while they were in there, Gideon was in as well, managed to find a pretty fair armor, rolled for it. I believe you got the armor of resistance, and the armor was acid. Or the resistance was acid.
I got an alchemy jug.
You did. You managed to get an alchemy jug. Nobody knows it's an alchemy jug. So if you remember correctly, a lot of people, including Pino and Dab, rolled relatively low on their Arcana check. So no one knows it's a magical jug right now. It's really just a nice ornate jug that looks pretty. And you were really one of the only people that managed to identify it. You were the one who took it off and said, I wanted it. So, yes, you did get an alchemy jug capable of filling itself with, acid, poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, you name it.
Mayonnaise.
Yes, mayonnaise.
Fill it with mayo.
Yeah, I found the notes too, so I'm updating them.
So, what do you guys want to do? So to sort of give you an idea, you've gone to Wyvern Tor and you've managed to do away with the folks over in the Ogre Cave and all of the orcs over that way. You were asked to do that by Haman Kost, who was over in the Old Owl Well, who was currently basically excavating the well for his own reasons. And then on top of that, you have been asked to go to visit the Banshee, Agatha, ask her a couple questions. There's a few different people who'd love answers from it. One looking for the answer or the owner of a spell book, the other looking for understandings of what the Old Owl Well was and so on. So you've got a few options. And then finally, you also have a lengthy voyage up to Thunder Tree to figure out exactly what's plighted the village of Thunder Tree just east of Neverwinter. There was a large natural disaster, a volcano that ran through there, and you've heard talk of some very good treasure in that area for one, but also some undead and also very nefarious goings on in that area.
I think we need to go back to the Harmon Cardon or whatever his name was there. Bring a zombie back. Bring that orc's head back to him.
Sounds about right, man.
Let's go to Agatha after that.
Should also see if we can try to sell this unicorn head or hoof or blood before it goes bad too.
Let's keep it.
So you guys, what are you guys doing?
We're going back to the Old Owl Well.
Okay, so where you guys are right now is about a day's travel from where the old Owl Well was. So if you look at your maps, which I will
We
take
took a rest before this session started, correct?
Probably, yeah. As this session was starting, you would have been resting and spending probably the night in this wood that you're in right now. The Old Owl Well is a hot skip and a jump away from Wyvern Tor. By technicality, it's around 10 miles, so you guys can get there in about a day, or just shy of a day, probably half a day.
Okay.
So you can either get there towards the end of. So you've slept overnight. You've woken up this morning. You're heading out. Fresh day. You'll probably get there by the afternoon.
I'm going to instruct the zombie to pull the wagon.
Go ahead and roll your Arcana check.
17.
You're going to ask him to pull the wagon?
Yeah, our Mars is dead.
So
gone.
he jumps up on it. The Mars ran away after Pino healed him.
Yeah, the fairy was supposed to find it for us. He said he was going to find it.
He said he was going to try.
We also said we was going to try to kill something for him, and we did. Try hard.
So this zombie, as you're trying to get it to saddle up to the wagon, it grabs the two reins that the Mars was actually holding. It goes to walk forward with all its might, pulling on this massive cart. Its two arms rip off and just fall to the ground, still holding on to the reins. Its armless body just walking forward in the direction of the Old Owl Well.
And at that time, I think I would tell one of the pixies, or ask one of the pixies if they had any success at finding our Mars.
They turn to you and go, no creature like that. They run fast. They get very far, very quick. We might be able to find different creatures to pull cards.
Like what?
Oh, there's lots. Deer, caribou. There might even be some oxen around here.
Are you able to persuade one to possibly help us along the way?
I don't speak oxen. I'm a fairy.
Yeah, exactly. You're a fairy. Use some magic.
I cannot charm a creature into simply pulling a wagon for the rest of its life. I couldn't do that to the poor animal.
If you could find one for us, perhaps I could talk to it.
Certainly. And so it basically goes, follow. So it takes you into this like very heavily wooded area. You've got a lot of trees and around you, and there's it's sort of difficult to move through. You're right around the mountainous area, right in between Wyvern Tor and Old Owl Well.
As we're going through, I'm gonna collect some like moss and lichen if I can, and I'm gonna look for any flowers that I can find.
No,
why flower picking?
He's a fancy bitch.
Reasons.
Okay.
Nothing amazing along the way. No real beautiful flowers that you come across. It's mostly, like you said, moss and lichen on the trees, and then long grass as you walk through it. As you come through, you end up coming out to a small clearing. There's probably one or two large creatures standing in front of you. You recognize them to be probably oxen. She turns to you and goes, "This is the only one for quite a while. Good luck!" And all of a sudden you just hear, and it flitters away. You see this trail of glitter dust just sort of follow it away.
I fucking hate glitter dust.
I'm gonna take all the things that I gathered and try and package it up nice into like a little bundle with the comb that Sister Grail gave to me.
There you go. Well, that's what he heard.
Okay.
And just, when we go see Agatha, I'm gonna present that to her.
Okay.
So you're gonna give her a pile of rocks and dirt, mate.
She's a banshee. It's not rocks and dirt. She's a banshee with some flowers, hopefully.
You're a real lady killer there, mate.
I'm gonna give her syphilis.
And then she'll really be screaming like a banshee. All right, so you guys have this pretty large oxen standing directly in front of you. It hasn't noticed you yet, but you're still a ways away from it. It's in a clearing, probably about 50 to 60 feet ahead of you.
Well, chop with the magic and so forth.
Well, I could just try to talk to it first if you want.
If
The
that is
magic
what you
he's
do,
talking
then
about.
please proceed.
Well,
Yeah, talk to the ox. I got that. I can do that. I got animal friendship.
I can pretty much just talk to him. I'm going to walk up to the ox and say, hey, do you mind giving us a hand here? We got this big wagon. We could give you some good food.
This has got to be the worst negotiation ever.
How do you lasso that motherfucker? How do you negotiate with an animal?
You can't negotiate. It's a wild animal. You just decided to walk up to it, and all of a sudden it heard a voice in its head. And
Oh, no. It heard the voice out loud and understood me.
yeah, and it also saw a human being.
It's not used to having conversations with you.
He's friendly. He seemed friendly.
Running. So he is taking a full-on stride. His friend beside him has noticed you and started to take a full-on stride. So what are you guys doing here?
I'm gonna cast animal friendship.
Well, you should probably cast it.
I elbow Ganja. I'm like, this is going to be so good, mate.
Yeah, I'm just standing back and watching with Gideon, just, smile on my face, little smirk. See how it goes.
Interesting endeavor, mate.
I believe
You
so.
can see within range.
Mate, I tell them fellows using ropes on these type of deals.
So oxen are not that bright, so you can certainly cast animal friendship.
Yeah, that's the move. That's what I'm doing.
Spell you can choose a beast you can see within range. It must hear or see if the beast's intelligence is spell. Otherwise, the beast will succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Well, I'm just going to roll a d20 and add nothing. It fails. So all of a sudden, you just see one sort of the one takes off running. The other one sort of looks back at you as it pokes its head up, and it's about to run, and then it looks straight at you, makes eye contact with you.
And I just want to
Richter.
say, I just want to say we need help to it.
Okay, and it stops, looks towards you, sort of puts its head down, and then raises its head up. You can't really necessarily speak with it.
I understand its gestures and motions.
So it's sort of the gestures and motions can move to, that it knows that you mean it no harm, and it's just wondering exactly what you need.
We need things to be carried, right, guys?
He didn't tow our wagon here.
We need you to tow the wagon.
Okay, and it sort of steps a little bit closer. It's still skittish. It knows that you mean it no harm. You mean it no harm specifically, but it's still a little bit shaken by the, it's just had its life turned upside down. All of a sudden, this band of miscreants come along and start talking to it. So it moves up towards you. It's this massive, creature, and it moves up towards you, Richter, sort of moves alongside it as you sort of pet it. It starts
I'm
as you
gonna reach into my pocket, and some of the weed in my pocket, I'm gonna feed it to it.
Let's see how that affects an ox.
What do you give him?
Give him weed. So
what? We need him to do work.
Feeding weed to the ox.
Cause it's a road trip.
I can work.
We're gonna be smoking. The ox can smoke too.
Oh yeah.
You can work and smoke.
This ox is gonna lay down in this field, mate, and he's not gonna get up for the whole day.
So we're gonna see what happens. I'm rolling a d20. We'll see. Anything lower than a 10. Oh, okay, all right. So it munches on the weed. It sort of pulls it back. You see it swallow it back. It sort of pulls its head back. I mean, it's not going to affect it almost immediately, but it sort of appreciates the gesture. It as you turn to walk. I mean, you gather that he's like, okay, take me to what you need. You guys turn and go walk away. It's sort of following right beside you, Richter. It's got relatively large horns. It reaches down. It's going to make a dexterity check real quick. The DC of 15.
I'll pet its horns.
Oh, it reaches down with its horn. It loops its horn right around your hind legs and throws you up onto its back.
Oh, nice.
Oh, shit. I got to tell you, mate, you can make friends with any fucking body.
All right, I'll tie it up to the wagon and I'll ride on it forward.
All right, so you guys finally get to the wagon. You sort of communicate back with this ox. You see the two bloody arms sitting on the ground. You've still got an armless zombie walking. So nobody stopped it. So there's still a zombie like walking very
Can't you
slowly.
repair the zombie? Pick his arms up. He's been doing good work.
So there's an armless zombie that's probably
So I'm
about
gonna pick up
100
his
feet.
arms and put him on the wagon.
There's an armless zombie about 100 feet ahead of the wagon that's just sort of sauntering very slowly towards towards the old owl well. The
It's
ox,
going-
as you get closer,
It's going the right direction, so I'm not going to tell it any different. It's going where I want it to go.
the ox, as you get closer, sort of looks back at you and makes eye contact with you, Richter, and just as if to say, "What the fuck?"
I'm gonna say,
so you
Pino,
hook it up.
I'm gonna say, Pino, tell him not to be worried about the zombie.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just patted it on the head.
You hook it up. You put the bit, or it's not really a bit. You put the harness on the oxen. It pulls your cart. Your cart starts to wheel up. It hasn't been pulled in quite a while. It's been a few days since it's actually seen movement, but you manage to start spinning up. You guys make your way towards the old owl well. It's only about a 10 or a half days journey, about 8 hours long. So nothing amazing happens along the trail. You don't see anybody, which is kind of it isn't exactly surprising. You're taking somewhat of a forested shortcut. You're not heading all the way out to the Tribor Trail and then coming back down. You're going in through some mountain pass. You make your way back into the old owl well. Again, this time less surprised by the stench. But as you get closer and closer, the oxen becomes more and more reserved about moving forward to the point where it just finally stops, probably about 200 to 300 feet outside of that, outside of the old owl well. You guys are starting to have the sting of the smell come into your nose. Dab,
Is there anything that we could tie the ox to?
Yeah, there's trees around and things like that.
Yeah, let's tie him to something.
I think we should free him, mate. If we tie him to something, something might get him out here.
We still need a way to get back to
Still need it.
Phandelver.
I see we definitely take our chances by not freeing him. Whether he dies or he's gone if we free him.
All right, let's go give
He
this shit back.
he carried us all the way. Why am I such a fucking softy? It's an oxen.
Let's tell him he's doing a job.
When is a pirate that concerned about animal welfare?
Jesus. Tie
The
the
druid
ox
doesn't
up.
give a shit.
It's hard
My
to-
ox.
I was going to say,
My
the
druid
fucking
says
druid
these
of the group
horses
doesn't
are
give a
fine.
shit,
Yeah.
but
Druid doesn't give a shit. So
Oh, I care, but I feel that he will be okay.
So at that time, we gather up all the heads and start making our way after tying up the oxen towards Harmon.
So everybody make a Constitution saving throw because they're not exactly trying to hide themselves now. By the way, you're noticing, Dab, that your zombie, which is about 100 feet ahead of you, he's still walking towards the well. Richter, you got a strong Constitution. Not once throughout this entire time are you going to get sick. But Gideon and Ganja, oh, not Pino. Gideon, Ganja, and Dab, all three of you start to retch at this smell, which is surprising for you, Dad, because you figured you'd be used to it by now. All of you, none of you lose hit points necessarily, but you're in a rough way. You're retching. You're dry heaving. You're not actually throwing up right now, but you're dry heaving because
like
the
it.
smell's just brutal. Yeah, Richter puts his nose in the air, just goes.
The only reason you don't care, man, is because you're used to stinking because you have chlamydia.
It's so bad. Oh.
So as you guys make your way forward, you once again come into the old owl well area. You see another invigorated army of zombies standing in front of you. You now not trying to make their appearance hidden. You see heads sort of walking along the tops of the tiered areas. You see them on the insides as well, sort of surrounding the entire area. One or two of them walking around the actual well itself. You see the familiar red tent in the corner, and you just see these zombies sort of moving around. They make their way and sort of look towards you and then start making their slow way towards you. Instinctively, Dab, you're recognizing this. Also, the zombie that you had before has now moved in, so sort of mark him. He's right here. I put a heart on him just so you know he was yours, but he is not in loving form. He sort of gets in with the group, pulls a 180, and then all of a sudden starts sauntering back towards you guys as well.
Can I whistle really loud to get this dumbass's attention so we don't have to fight zombies again?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to let out a shrill whistle to try to get his attention.
So make a performance save, or make a performance check.
Got you.
This is exciting.
I got a +2 to performance. Get the fuck out of here.
What's up?
You're a pirate. Pirates are generally do shanties well. So, I mean, it wasn't really difficult to put out a whistle. You let out a whistle. It's not amazing, but it's a whistle. It gets the, it does its job. All of a sudden you see all the zombies sort of slow to a crawl, and you see another cloaked figure come out from inside the tent, walking towards you, looking at you and going, "Ah, my friends have arrived. Welcome back. I hope you have good news for me."
And I'll say we come
one
bearing
zombie
gifts.
survived. That's the best news that we got.
We come bearing gifts, and I toss the orc head over at his feet.
Interesting. And he sort of strokes, like he's got a very long pointed beard on the bottom of his tattooed face. So he sort of just strokes that and goes, "Interesting. Well, I see you people are as promised."
Yeah, so where's the money, and start teaching me about these zombies.
Now, when exactly did I offer you any sort of recompense for this? This was merely a favor for me.
What were you going to give us in return?
Well, I was merely going to show you a few tricks of my own to help you survive out here.
And
Also, I was going to allow you to be through here and not obliterate you from existence.
You better bite.
I could have swore you said you would give us something.
Yeah, gold was offered.
You said it we would make it worth our time.
Clearly, if
That
it was important to you, you
sounds
would remember
familiar.
the amounts.
Oh, I don't think we
was
ever settled
500.
on an amount.
But do I
Either
look
way.
like a man who isn't assured of his future before he has it? Why in the world would I leave this open to interpretation?
Because you didn't expect us to win.
And because we're friends.
Make a oh, you know what? I'm trying to think here. Make an intimidation check, Gideon.
Why are you intimidating him? He's our fucking boy. He gave us zombies.
It's the best check I can think of for that. He turns to you and sort of he turns to you with almost a look of respect and sort of bows his head as if you know what you said was probably pretty true.
Now,
So
come
all that
on.
we-
There doesn't have to be hard feelings between us. There's been nothing but success so far. We've held up our end of the bargain. Come now. We deserve fair recompense.
If I'm to
Can I
show
try to
your
persuade
tiny friend, sorry,
Can I try to persuade him?
you could certainly try to persuade him. Sure.
Oh shit.
We also
Let's
have
see.
something interesting in our wagon we would like to show you.
Oh shit.
I don't know why it's not coming up. Oh, it did. Never mind. Sorry.
So you gather that you're not landing as salesy techniques as you would love, but he does hear the words of something else in your wagon. He sort of perks up. He turns to you and goes, "Well, I'm certain we can work out some sort of arrangement that leaves all parties happy. But I see your tiny friend here would be interested in having more friends around." And he looks straight at you, Dab, recognizing that you've got capabilities as you manage to run the zombies. He goes, "I see my friends have helped you along your way. You've come back with a few less than you left with. Still
Yeah,
some
they-
bugs to look out, my friend."
Indeed, they don't always like to do as they're told, but they're getting better, and I'm becoming more efficient with instructions.
He stares straight at you. I need you to make a perception check. Dab, I'm assuming at this point, Gideon, you're pulling something out of the wagon?
No, I was going to wait till he finished talking to Dab, and then I was going to take him over the wagon to see the unicorn head.
Damn it, Dab. Dab, you're starting to hear some fuzziness in your head. You're starting to hear voices all of a sudden.
Okay, what are those voices saying to me?
They're very muffled at this point in time. You can't really hear them very, very well, but they're
And
relatively muffled.
I'll look him dead in the
I'll be right
eyes, and
back.
I'll look him dead in the eyes, and I'll say, "Who is it that you're trying to communicate with me? Are these the voices of the dead, or is this voices from you?"
All of a sudden, you just hear like almost like it's coming from an ether. You just hear, "Be careful what you wish for. Is this truly the way you want to go? Is this the path you wish to walk?"
I'll walk any path. I'm not scared of anything at all. I have a strong mind and strong magical capabilities and a strong core values and a strong moral compass.
And you just hear, "Fear is not the thing you need to worry about. Your morals will begin to disappear. You will lose value in anything. Be sure the road you go down is the one you wish to walk."
I'll go down that road. Can I go down that road? I'll go.
No, I'm
You don't
definitely
hear
going
any
down
of this
that road.
happening right now.
I'll definitely
Really?
go down that
Sounds
road.
like fun.
And you're talking to a man with no morals, so there is no issue.
Very well. And he just sort of, all of a sudden, you sort of break eye contact with Cost, and he turns to you and goes, "If that is how you think it must be. Anyways, why don't you show me this other piece of valuable that you have inside your cart over there?"
Why don't you show us some gold for our first favor for you, and we'll proceed to give you something of even more value.
My friend, the value of the knowledge that I could provide you and the powerful wizard that I could make you is far beyond the value of any gold I could provide. You can choose one or the other. I will train you as my apprentice, or I can provide you with mere recompense for your services.
We'll take the apprenticeship, but I'm sure that you'll also want to be paying us gold for what we have in store.
Look around you, sir. Does it look like I'm exactly swimming in riches? I have zombies to protect me. My magic is what keeps me rich. I'm not a man of great wealth. I'm a man of knowledge.
We'll see if the goods that we have to provide will change your mind at all, but as it is, you will still instruct me as agreed upon.
As agreed.
And
However,
then, go ahead.
keep in mind, this is not a path that all are ready to go down. And all of you are hearing this one at this point. And he turns to you and goes, "Remember what your master told you when you were a youngin'. This is not your average wizardry."
And remember what I told you the last time I was here. I am not your average wizard. And last time I told him that quite convincingly. I rolled rather well, so he does have respect for me as a wizard.
Yes, he does. That's one of the only reasons he's still talking to you.
Yeah.
So, all of you are hearing this go on. Is anybody going over to the trailer or to the cart to grab what's in there?
Yeah, I think Gideon would have done so now that the agreement's been made for their first mission. So I would imagine Gideon would probably then return with the unicorn head. I think the unicorn stuff is what he was going for. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what he was going for, because there is something else of relative value in there as well.
The
that
barrel.
I don't know if he would have gone for.
Yeah, that's what I thought he meant at first. He did say the unicorn head.
No, he did say the unicorn head.
And blood and whatnot. So we would bring
He
that
was
out.
talking the unicorn head. He ain't getting that blood.
All right, so we would bring the unicorn head in, probably leave the barrel and the unicorn blood at the trailer so he doesn't know that we have that stuff.
Make a nature check real quick.
That.
You know that the unicorn head's got a pretty low shelf life, but the horn itself will last for eons. The blood, however, does have about a 3-day shelf life. You burned a day and a half so far.
How far are we from Phandelver?
Wonder what it tastes like.
You're probably. What does it taste like? It's white. It's ichory. It gives you everlasting life.
I'm also sure
If
it gives you everlasting life, I'm taking a shot.
From Phandelver, where you guys are right now, it's you probably a 3-day or 2 to 3 day travel. So you know you're not getting anywhere
And I would imagine it has
you know,
magical properties, so it would probably be good to have a wizard look at it. Maybe it'll have some value to him. So you can either keep this blood and let it rot on the wagon, or we can try to barter with it.
It'll just congeal.
Keep in mind, guys, you guys would have had to walk like 200 feet out of the well, completely cutting off the conversation with Cost.
No, I'm
to
still
go look
there.
at it.
I'm still there.
Okay.
I would have probably in the meantime, like we're all waiting on Gideon, so
Gideon is seemingly dicked off.
we'll just
I'll be
say
honest, I
we'll,
don't
we'll
even
say
think the blood's
well,
worth
anything.
no,
Are
the
you
blood's
doing
worth
anything
more.
fun or foolhardy during this time?
I'm oh, Richter.
What did you ask?
I said, are you doing anything fun or foolhardy at this time?
No, I'm more so trying to get towards Agatha to get those 2 quests done.
So as he's sort of sitting with you, Dab, sort of Richter and the crew have gone back towards the cart, probably going to grab a few more things. Ganja, you sort of hear whispers in the back of your head and then your ear. Your make a Constitution saving throw, Ganja. Okay. So you feel the urge. You fight it and you fight it off. You feel the urge to reach out and just grab that sword out for some unknown reason. It's just the environment you seem to be in seems to be bringing out a very bad side of what you already know is a danger to you. Richter, are you smoking anything? Are you doing any kind of, like, I don't know if you'd have gloom here yet. I don't know if you guys would have found any, but you definitely do have Mary Jade's Fern.
At the moment, man, I'm smoking a little bit of my Mary Jane's Fern. I gave some more to the ox, and I'm just sitting on the back of the ox smoking.
Okay. Make a nature check.
Sure.
So, Pino, where are you right now? Have you gone back to the trailer with them? What are you doing?
I'd have been walking with Gideon to go get that unicorn head.
Okay. Richter, you're behind Pino. You do remember, and I mean, keep in mind, you still are trying to find information about your past. This is, and I remind everybody that this is a Richter from a different sort of universe than our others. But you're still trying to find out things about your past. You remember overhearing, in a bar at one point, a conversation around the fact that unicorn blood tends to have some very hallucinogenic properties.
Oh.
So only you remember this. As you're walking back, you remember this, and you know that in your cart are probably, 5 vials or 12 vials or 8?
10 vials.
10 vials.
So nothing happened when I stuck my finger in it and licked it?
Oh, I didn't know you were already back at the trailer yet.
I said it a while ago, but
Make a Constitution saving throw.
I just assumed that I always had at least one of the vials on me.
Okay, maybe let's assume that. Make a Constitution saving throw. Uh-oh.
Ooh,
You
are tripping balls.
You dip your finger and go to put it in your mouth. It tastes like absolute gold. Like, it tastes amazing, and you just find yourself with a sudden urge to you grab the bottle and you down the whole thing. So you're down one vial. You become enraged, or you become obsessed with this. All of a sudden, you feel this massive euphoria come over you. The woods bloom away into this massive plumage of flower and beauty in front of you. You see glitter all around you. You see like rainbows jumping out. You see some of the sheep and some of the livestock that was in the area. They all of a sudden become massive, absolutely huge, and start walking towards you. I need you to make a another Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
At that moment, Gideon emerges from the bushes, fixing his belt. Sorry about that, mates. Nature calls.
Shit, Pino. Pino, all of a sudden these animals start coming towards you and you just absolutely become just terrified. Everybody around, you just start running away from them. Pino, or as Richter and Gideon are walking, because what has happened basically is you were walking back to the wagon to go get the unicorn blood and the unicorn head and everything else like that. You noticed, Richter was sort of in behind, and Pino and Gideon were sort of up front. Pino or Gideon, you started noticing Pino doing like a little bit of shuffling around to his side. All of a sudden, you see Pino just take off. He just takes off into the woods, just completely off, like banks right into the woods. Richter, you were having the thought of that hallucinogenics as you see Pino just bolt.
I have a question, right man. Now? What's wrong with him?
And that's what he's doing. He's screaming. Like, he's absolutely screaming as he just, like, all of a sudden...
Are you fucking serious, mate? What's wrong with him?
You just hear him just, like, panicking, screaming. His eyes are getting bulged wide, and then he sort of pushes Gideon off to the side and just runs right out into the middle of right out into, like, a thicket of bushes. And as this is happening, Koss turns to Dab and goes, I think your friend has had a bit of a dab of your unicorn blood.
Oh, mate, you fucked. The first rule is don't get high on your own supply.
Can't even defend myself.
No, you can't. You're gone at this point.
And I would turn to Koss.
Okay, where's the rest of it?
I would turn to Koss and ask him how it is he knew that we had unicorn blood on our wagon.
And he turns to you, sort of gleans his face off to the side and says, you should know the answer to that question, sir.
Of course I already do.
So right now, Pino's fucked off.
And this is the result?
Just periodically, Pino, I mean, every, say, 5 minutes now, I need you to just make a Constitution saving throw to find out when you finally come down from this acid trip you're on.
I walked around the side here by myself.
He turned, so right now, Richter just saw this happen, is probably giggling his ass off. Gideon, you're still walking towards the cart, grabbing what you want to grab. So what are you two doing?
I'm not grabbing anything. I'm going to stand by the cart and wait for the guy to catch up so I can show it to him.
So Richter's, the guy's not following you. You are going to retrieve something. Dab stayed back and started talking to him.
Yeah, me and him are kind of chatting while you go to get the thing. And we've agreed that he's going to apprentice me in return for the orc's head. And now he's going to possibly give us money for the stuff we have for the unicorn. Unicorn blood's going to be dead by the time we get to Phandelver. So we either deal it here or continue to eat it and hallucinate like Pino just did.
Pino, make another Constitution saving throw. Oh, okay. So we'll give it a bit of due time, but you're starting to come down from this. The animals that you're seeing are starting to get smaller. Things are starting to become almost black and white now. You're losing all color, and you're starting to really come down off of this massive trip that you were on. So we'll leave that on. You're going to need 2 successful saves of 15 or higher. So that was the first one. You're starting to come out of it, but we'll see how you do. So Gideon,
I'm just starting to control my buzz.
Yes, Gideon and Richter, what are you two doing?
Am I near the guy again now?
Question for you, Pino. Do you have a bow and arrow with you? Like, would you have a crossbow or a bow and arrow?
No.
No?
No.
Do you have a staff?
I have my scimitar, and I have Rob's quarterstaff. And I also have a wooden staff.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So, Richter, what are you doing?
I am just tripping out on drugs.
No, you're not. You haven't taken anything yet.
Oh, I want to take them.
Oh, so what do you do? Like, so right now, the vials are in a bag that are inside of that are in the cart. Gideon is going to that cart in hopes to sell that bag. He also just saw Pino take off. So you don't have access to those right now. Gideon is sort of in your way. What are you doing?
I'm going to try to get one without him seeing me real quick because he's on his way to the car.
Make a
I'll
sleight of
drop the
hand.
bag. If you want one of the vials, take one of the fucking vials. Take it. You ain't trying to steal and sneak around. Just you are a part of our group. If you want some of the shit, hey, I want some.
So Richter,
He tries to steal it. I'm gonna smack the shit out.
So he gets caught and just goes, you can have it, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
exactly. So what happens is all of a sudden you see. So this is exactly how it goes down. Gideon is holding this bag, and all of a sudden he turns around and he just sees, like, he turns around to see Richter like this, and like all of a sudden Richter like dodges him and then goes to grab the bag, and Gideon just goes, like, picks it up, and as he swipes away and goes, "If you want one, take one." And then Richter just sort of stands up and goes, "Oh," and then kindly grabs a vial of unicorn blood and
Hey,
proceeds.
don't go tripping balls off the shit. We're leaving here soon, mate. Maybe have
I'm
one.
gonna take one for now and one for later, so I can hopefully learn more about my past.
I don't give a fuck what you take your drugs for, mate. That has nothing to do with me. So I give him 2 of the vials as he requested. So how many of
you doing with
you
those?
took 1 and they have 2.
So you have 10 in
7
total,
left.
you said? So
Yeah.
7 left.
Okay, bet. So I'm gonna bring the 7 and the cloth wrap unicorn head with me all over to the guy.
All right, so you're going to bring 7 up. So you come up and all of a sudden, so Richter,
Actually, I have
you
a
make
question. We actually had the wagon tied, right?
correct.
We agreed the ox was tied. Can I just drive the wagon over there?
Well, the wagon is being pulled by the oxen. The oxen refuses to go any further.
Oh, I forgot that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll bring the shit. I'll bring it. It's
All right,
bad.
so
I
you've got the
can't
unicorn
get it
head
out
and the
of
blood in
my-
hand. You start making your way back. You're a big guy, so you can carry most of it on your own. Richter, are you like down in one vial? Are you down in like a shot of it? Are you rubbing it on your teeth? What are you doing?
I'm taking the whole vial, first one, and I'm keeping another
Just knocking
one
back
for
a
later.
vial. Make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
This guy's gonna fucking OD.
Really? Am I not supposed to have that much?
I don't know. I took that much. Tasted pretty damn good.
You took a finger of it first, and then proceeded to just.
I
pound
still took that much.
Okay, so an 8's not going to be nice to you either. So you all of a sudden, like, again, for you, the ground starts to shake underneath your feet, and it starts to get lumps, and almost all of a sudden these tendrils just start to come up and snap up and snap up. All of a sudden, one grabs your leg and starts to drag you towards the ground. All you see, Gideon, is as he takes the shot, not shortly after, you look back and you just see Richter doing this. Ah! He's standing straight up and down, just screaming, flailing his arms in the air, and then like he's starting to flail back and forth. Richter, you're feeling like this presence just pulling you down into the ground as you sink into this massive hole. You come out from inside you fall underneath the plateau of the ground, and you just see darkness. All of a sudden you see heads, just like severed heads, start to float around you from like side to side to side to side. We'll come back to you. Pino, make another Constitution saving throw.
It comes in waves.
So you manage to fight back a little bit, and all of a sudden the animals start to like almost bombard you again. The legs of some of the sheep that you have in front of you start turning into snakes, and they start snapping at you and snapping at you. You pull out your quarterstaff and start to swing it around violently. You like throw one of your quarterstaffs, so the staff that you had, Darren's staff, I think, you just sort of chuck it at one of the snakes. I need Gideon to make a dexterity saving throw.
I am not that close to him.
I didn't go running.
Saving throw.
You say he ran off in the bushes. I am nowhere near this guy.
Make a dexterity
I
saving
snuck
throw.
back apparently.
Oh my god. You fucking druggies suck, man.
Join us.
So all of a sudden you just like, so Gideon, you're walking with like a horse head slung across your back. You've got the bag of vials in your hand. You just all of a sudden you're and you just look to the side and you see like this barreling, like end over end quarterstaff just flying towards you. You just sort of stand out of the way as it hits a tree and then falls onto the ground, and you just continue to walk forward.
You see Pino wide-eyed turn back off into the bushes.
Fuck you, Pino.
You make your way back to Dab and Hammond. Ganja.
Can I yeah, I want to interject a little bit. When I felt that urge come over me and I suppressed it, I'm gonna go around the edge of this settlement or whatever it is there, to where I am on the map.
Okay.
And pull out my sword. The sword in question. Say, what is it you want?
There are friends of yours. They live to feed me as well. They will sign themselves over to Bahamut and forever be our slaves.
I won't kill my friends. If it's blood you want, I can give you that. But I will not use you to kill my friends.
And then you just hear back,
They give themselves to me willingly.
They will not.
and then you just hear another final whisper.
Be careful of which the company you keep.
Likewise.
That was a great one. It's like even the disembodied voice wants to diss that burn. Just like Stubbs goes, "What? Really?" We'll switch back to Richter. Richter, you've fallen through the floor that is the ground. You've got these embodied heads floating all around you. Make a history check, please. Gideon, by this time, you will have gotten around to the entrance into this gentleman's cave. Pino is still off screen. And by the way, Pino's not stopped screaming, so you can generally locate where he is just by his screams.
That's how I knew he was the one that threw that fucking stick.
thought I was stalking my prey.
Richter, you are starting to notice the faces on some of these heads. They're crying. They're almost like tears, but the tears that they're actually crying are like other heads. But those, and like it's almost like that psychedelic effect where the tears are heads and those heads have tears and those like it's just, and all of a sudden it starts to like open up, like they start to come at you almost like a circle and then come around you. All of a sudden you land feet first on the ground. You see fire just all around you. You see buildings burning down, people running all which way and left, right, and center. You see a woman sort of reaching out to you with a burned like carcass of a skeleton in his hands, just screaming at you. But it's screaming out towards you. It's looking straight in your face, which is kind of disconcerting on its own. But as well, it's sort of hard to say here. It's like she's crying, and she's staring straight towards you, and she just sort of looks towards you and just goes, and she screams out, "Middlar!" And she's looking straight at you as if she's actually calling your name, and you just hear Middlar, Middlar. And she's just screaming it over and over again, and she goes, she screams to you and goes, "Take our son." And she's sort of putting her hands out. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw. At which point, Gideon, you get back inside sort of the safety of this area. You hear Hammond say, "Sounds like your friends are having quite the adventure out there."
To each his own, man.
Well, they will certainly. How much did they partake in each? Would you know?
I don't know or care, mate. I suppose they'll survive it. If they don't, they chose it.
And so at this point in time, you don't know he knows what you have. So you should also be relatively surprised that
I'm not that surprised. I don't trust people who use magic, especially people who deal with this type of shit. I expect him to know things.
Pino, make another Constitution saving throw. He turns to you and goes, "Show me what you have, and let us see what we can do as a deal."
First off, I take out one of the vials of the unicorn's blood and show it to him.
So, Pino, you're still screaming off in the distance. All of a sudden, these snakes start turning into like large logs that just start falling around you. You start running each way and the other. All of a sudden, you look down and your entire clothing is just on fire. like on fire on you. You're starting to feel that burn. You start to rip off a lot of your armor. You sort of drop a lot of your satchels standing in front of you, trying to get this fire off you. You take...
Oh, look, he's stripping naked, mate.
You don't see Pino at this time. He's off in the bushes. You take 9 points of fire damage. So to your mind, you take 9 points of fire damage as your clothes are cindering on you. Just sort of, you're pulling them off, trying to get them off you. Your scimitar, the only thing that's you're brandishing right now in this hellish dream that you're going through. Gideon, you're hearing just more and more screams, but they're almost like yelps of pain at this point. He turns to you and goes, "Let us see what you have to offer, and let us see if we can make a deal."
Okay, I take out one of the vials of the unicorn blood and I hand that to him.
And he turns to you and goes, "And the remaining 6?
How would you know there are 6 more, mate? You're quite the discerning customer.
Consider
but
it
it's not that I don't offer those. I just wanted to show. Or do I need to show all 6 to price them? They're all the same thing, mate.
Yeah, as you know, I certainly don't need to check. Well, I'll tell you, these are at least a day and a half old, so they've deteriorated in price. And I'll tell you as well, I am no beast looking to carve a horn from a thuggerish unicorn's head. Do the work.
I did not say that. Well, maybe you carve it for us, mate. Maybe that could be a part of the deal. We're not adept at such matters. Perhaps you are.
You have a capable druid who's currently losing his mind in the woods. Perhaps bring him back, and he might be able to provide you with the...
I wasn't trusting him to do it before we even got high, so either you can't or we'll find someone else who can.
Good luck to you, sir, finding any vendor for such a thing in this wilderness. However, to your point, they do keep for quite a while. The unicorn blood, however, I have value for. You've brought me a small supply, and let's note it. They are a day's and a half's worth of oldness. I can offer you approximately 200 gold pieces for the entire set.
So now at this point, it would be just Gideon and I. At this point, it would just be Gideon and I making these deals, right? Nostra still, or Ganja's still back at the cart talking to his sword, and the other two are tripping balls, right?
No. It was around, and I did.
Yeah.
And I did come back around, and
okay, so I turned to my compatriots.
How would this sweeten the pot? And I pull out the sword. And what can you tell me about this? How might this sweeten the pot?
He turns and looks towards you, Dab. All of a sudden, you hear those voices. Make another perception check. Richter, make another Constitution saving throw. You got 2 right now, so or you got 1 so far.
19.
Dab, you start to hear the disembodied voice again, and goes,
"It seems you've got friends in low places."
Indeed, I do. I have friends low, high, and in the middle. I've got lots of high friends right now. I don't know if you can see.
Richter, make a Constitution saving throw. Same with Pino.
Oh, fuck.
These are some fucking gold comebacks, guys. God damn it, Pino.
No inspiration. What the fuck?
I like where I'm at.
Pino's never coming down from his high. So, Pino, for you are currently naked, with your sword brandished alone. All of a sudden, those tree logs, they move in. The trees start to move in sort of a wispy fashion. All of a sudden, you see spikes break out on each end of the trees. They form the body of a massive wooden dragon, similar to what you've felt, or you think you've seen in a past life where you saw a bed turn into a large dragon. Now this tree turning into a massive wooden creature. The tree branches start to form these like webbed wings, and it starts to fly in front of you. Just all of a sudden it sprays out a volley of splinters directly towards you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I didn't even get a chance to attack it. It's the first thing I would have done. As soon as it started changing on me, that fucking sword would be... Wait, what am I making?
Dexterity saving throw.
So this rolls the right thing.
Oh, there you can do it. So you managed to dodge out of the way of these completely, completely naked. You're dodging out of the way of this dragon is like flying in the air, a long tail coming down to the ground. You have one chance here. You can run over to it and try and. So I'll give you an option. You can either make a Constitution saving throw again, or you can try and attack this thing.
I'm going to attack.
All right. So make just a standard melee attack.
Actually, I'm not going to attack. I'm going to try to ride it.
Make a constant. All right. Make a. Fuck, that's a difficult one. Make an acrobatics check, and you're looking for like 18 or higher.
I could do that.
Oh, so you go to jump on the log, you start to run up its tail, you get about halfway up its tail, it sort of wisps its tail off, and you fly off into the distance and onto the ground again, and this thing just sort of turns back around you and just sort of screams, and another volley of bolts come out. We'll stop it there. Richter, make another Constitution saving throw, please. Ooh. So all of a sudden you see this woman reaching out towards you. She's screaming your name, Mitalar. Well, not your name, but a name, Mitalar, with this baby, or with this sort of half singed and half burnt to death child in her arms. You see her reaching out. All of a sudden you start to fall once more. As you fall, you see almost like a well. It's brickwork. Starts to come into view all the way around you, and you splash into some water. As you go into the water, you're sort of drowning at this point. You're struggling for air. Make a not a Constitution. Make a Oh, so what are you doing at that point?
I'm in the well, and I get.
Yeah, you're in the well currently struggling. You can't swim, even though you probably know how to swim in real life. You can't seem to put your body work together to figure out how to swim.
I'm gonna try to climb out through the bricks.
Through the bricks? All right, make an acrobatics check. So you sort of put your hand on one side, put your hand on the other. You get about halfway up, you splash back into the water. We'll call it there. So Gideon, you are currently trying to make this deal. Dab has just been delivered one hell of a line to the disembodied voice. He turns back to you and goes, "Do you even understand the sword in which you possess, my friend? Where did you find that artifact?"
Where I found it's not the issue. Tell me more about it.
It is. I can tell you all I want about it, but you are offering it to me for sale. I am not required to give you information on what I am being sold. Tell me where you got it, and it might have less or greater value to me.
Out of character, we found that in the mansion, correct? I got that off the bugbear. The bugbear.
That is correct. You found it in a satchel off the bugbear.
What was the name of the mansion again? The fucking something manor.
The fucking something manor. The Tressender Manor.
Tressender Manor.
That's what it is.
I kind of look at Gideon and Dab to see, judge, should I tell him? I give him that look
It's your burden to bear, mate. Tell him what you wish to tell him. Can we conclude our deal first, though?
Well, your friend over here seemed to want to sweeten the pot. A group deal often provides you with a little bit more, shall it?
To be absolutely frank, mate, I want no recompense from ever dealing with that weapon. Thanks. Whatever deal you make, will we be with him alone?
250 gold for your vials, and get your damn head carved, and I might provide you with some kind of recompense for it. Do we have a deal?
Well, I'm looking at these guys. Is 250 gold? What do you think? I don't know what this shit's worth.
You hear Pino? I'll carve the head.
No,
you don't. Pino screaming.
I'm talking about the flood. Does 250 gold sound good?
Not including the sword, right?
So right now you have no. So I will say this: you can't go out of character. You have nobody to talk with except for Ganja and Dab.
That's what I'm asking. Dab. Dab's a magical person.
You're muted, Dab.
Didn't we find out last time as a group what the unicorn blood's worth? That was the whole purpose for us training it.
No, I found out it was worth more, but I wanted to drain
do
it.
anything about it. I did it because you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
had the
drained
book.
it
You
because
had
I
the
wanted
book
to do
out,
it.
Jared. What was it?
But we can offer 250 gold for it. I'm okay with that.
I'm good with
You
250
don't
gold.
know.
I'm good with
We
250
might
gold.
get heisted, but honestly, we don't have another buyer for it anyway.
Yeah, and we can't get it back to town before it goes bad anyway. So it's either take this or let
That's
it rot.
what he told you. That's not necessarily true. You know, people
This is
lie
true.
when you negotiate.
This is true. Actually, no, we
In
knew
fact,
that before. We knew
I
that.
have to.
No, we
He
knew
said
that.
this
I have to
Pino
imagine
Pino
has
asked the
said that.
DM that. Yeah, Pino asked the DM that
Something
it wasn't
Pino
asked
knew.
to him.
Pino had mentioned that. That's one of the reasons why you were going back for the vials.
Yeah.
That these were going to
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I would say 250
before
gold's
he
good.
fucked up.
Okay, so I turned to him and I offered a whole lot to him. Thank you, sir.
He turns to you. He turns to you. I need Dab. Make a perception check.
I'm not giving him the sword with that.
No.
No, I just want to sell the bios.
You
I
want a
think
separate
to
deal.
sell the sword
All right.
needs to be your transaction.
Yeah. So keep in mind, Dab was the only one who ever knew about the brick. And Dab, I need you to play this properly, given your role. Hammond reaches into his cloak, pulls out a brick of gold, and hands it to you. And he goes, "You will find this worth what you offered." And he sort of puts it in your hand.
Now, did the brick get taken from me by the little dude? But we blew him up, and I got the brick back, right?
No, the brick was taken from you by a mage who Misty stepped the fuck out of there.
Yeah, correct. That's right. And I'll look back up at him and say, "I know where you got this from."
No, you don't, because you don't recognize it.
The brick?
No, you don't recognize a brick. With a perception of 6, you just you see it as a brick. You
Oh, okay.
look at it, you think you recognize it, but no, you don't recognize it as the brick.
And nobody ever sold a brick with him?
Nope. He was
That's
the one who
what I
stole
said.
it.
The brick that was he tried to hide in his hat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it was a
guys
whole
never
rush.
actually
I
found
just
out
let it
about
go. I was mad.
it.
So then, yeah, I would just take the brick and assume nothing of it.
Well, it'll be Gideon that takes the brick from him. So you get a brick, and Gideon, you know gold's weight. You know the worth of it is accurate. It is worth 200.
Yeah, I know that. I can gauge that, but I don't know anything about the blood.
So he turns to you and goes, "Now a transaction is complete until your friend who's losing his mind in the bushes comes and carves this horn out of this unicorn's head.
We
Kindly
still
go
have,
find him for me."
So
And
do you
then
want to buy the horn? He wants the horn too?
he wants it carved first.
That's what he's-
But why is he getting the horn? I thought that was just for the vials.
I was just for the
that
vials.
250 was for the vials.
He's
All right,
saying we
bet.
can
So
also
we're not
sell
gonna
him the
sell
horn.
him the unicorn horn. We don't got time to hang around for that.
All right.
We can keep
Well,
that and do a business for somebody else about that.
We got to hang
Actually,
around for a
Calvin can
bit
Keep it.
because he's gotta do some instructions with me.
Because remember, I
Victor.
lost my trident. I kind of wouldn't mind you having a unicorn horn spear.
As a third, yeah, put it in the third tine of your trident, the one that snapped
Why
off.
not?
Oh shit, that's a good idea.
Put it as the third tine on the trident. That's pretty dope.
That's actually a dope idea.
That's pretty dope.
Unfortunately, now I remember the person with my trident is this crazy fucker in the woods. So I'm actually gonna leave here and go pursue Pino and see if I can help him.
Losing
well-
things as you speak.
And while they're all trying to
He's
take care of
brought up
that,
his entire arsenal at this point. So
Well,
you,
they're
you
all
move
trying
out-
to-
Sorry.
while they're all trying to take care of that, Nostra can make his deal on the sword, and at the same time, I'm also trying to get the information that I was promised out of him.
He
I'm
turns
having
to
a
you and
time
goes,
of my
"My
life."
friend, take a couple." So he turns to you and goes, "You have listened to the voices in your head. I'm sure you've been hearing them this entire time, and your friend over here certainly knows you're hearing them as well." So at this point in time, he's sort of ratting you out to Nostra. Nostra, this is an earshot of you as well. He turns to you and goes, "If this is truly the path you wish to work down, it is not exactly easy. It will take hard work. It will take time, embarrassment. But if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. Take a couple of my friends over here and get them to do some menial tasks around this farm, around this well. Have them dig a few holes, pull a few body parts away from each other, maybe even fight. See what you can accomplish in a short period of time. Impress me."
Okay, then I would proceed to do that, but we can come back to that.
All right, so you are going to start. You're going to take away like 3 of the zombies to sort of fall you over. You're going to be making a series of Arcana checks to see how well you're doing there. Richter making a Constitution saving throw. Same with Pito.
I have to make anything for failing that jump onto the.
Oh no! I mean, you just failed. I mean, you can't hurt yourself
Okay.
any further. You just sort of.
Let's
fell
make
off.
it sure. Let's make it sure.
So, Richter, make yourself a Constitution saving throw.
I chase it down.
Fucking A, Pito.
I chase it down and go for another jump.
So you again. Well, no, because the problem is, so the way this works is every time you fail, a new thing happens. So now all of a sudden you go to chase, you go to run up this. Wow, I'm starting to run out of. I had a list of 6 hallucinations. I didn't think you'd fuck up this bad.
Who says I'm fucking up? Maybe I'm just riding the buzz out.
So, anyways, all of a sudden you see this this massive creature. You go to run up its tail. You make your way up its tail. You're almost running straight up it, like Naruto style, just with your arms out of your back. Making your way up the
naked with a scimitar.
Naked with a scimitar, making your way up this this massive creature. As you move up it just sort of all of a sudden starts to morph, and it turns into this viney entrapment that you're running up. All of a sudden it's a cliff that you're running up. You run to the very edge, and you actually, given you're running so fast, you run straight off the cliff into the air, but you manage to keep running. You're running in midair at this point, just running straight forward. You've got a massive, you look down and there's just a sea of zombies below you.
Glad I can fly.
So you're just running and you're going to see zombies.
Watch this dude act a motherfucking fool.
Richter, with a roll like that, you are still in the well. All of a sudden, you feel something pull at your legs, and you fall down below the actual the level of the horizon of the water. You're just falling and falling and falling. You try and take a breath. As you breathe in, you feel fire come down. All of a sudden, you see flame come up from inside you. Then you see as you land again thick on ground. This time it's like ooze, it's like muck, it's like tar that you're standing under. You look up and you see 4 horses, white, absolutely jet white, with hooded figures standing on top of each other. You look towards one of them, you see that they've got basically almost like brandished like a knife or like a sword and a trident on a cross sitting on the crest of the one. You see another one with a skull and crossbones. Give me 1 second. You see one with a skull and crossbone. You see the other one with like a piece of bread that's been broken in half, and then you see another one with just what looks to be almost like another skull, but it doesn't have the cross on it, like the crossbones behind it. You're staring at these things. They come barreling towards you, their hooves up in the air. That's going to conclude yours. Al, make a perception check real quick. This is all very fast-paced.
Definitely new roommate. No drug use on the job.
Al, you start to hear the screaming. You're following the screaming. You come on into a little bit of a thicket in a bush. You see a group, like a pile of clothing sitting on the floor, ripped to shreds. You see a naked Pino standing in front of you with a scimitar, arms at his back, just running in place.
I am going to take out a net. And I am going to disorient him first by saying, "Hey there, Pino." And if he looks at me, I'm going to throw the net right in his face.
You hear, all of a sudden, you hear him. Yeah, you see, so as you're running, Pino, you hear this massive thunderclap, and then you hear this scream that goes, "Hey!" And it just like, it busts your eardrums. You fall off to the side, and all of a sudden you begin falling towards the zombies and flailing. So you see, and you're on your side, you're going to throw your net at him, Gideon. All of a sudden you see him fall to the side, and you just see you see him fall to the side, and you just start seeing him scream and flail as he's falling inside of your net. I need another
Swimming.
Constitution saving throw from Pino, another Constitution saving throw from.
I don't have to throw the net. He's in it.
Oh, he's in it. He's just flailing at this point inside the net.
While he's flailing, I want to hit him on the knuckles and make him drop the sword.
All right, make a dexterity saving throw, or make a dexterity check, because you've got to be pretty accurate. Otherwise, you're going to lop a hand off. I don't exactly know how you're going to wrap his
With the
knuckles.
sword. Well, get out of here. Are you serious? I'm just going to punch his hand.
You're going to punch his hand. Well,
He's in the net. He
flailing.
can't swing the sword at me, bro. He's stuck in the net.
Yeah,
So
but
he's
he's
gonna
flailing the
swing.
He's still flailing a sword inside your net.
It's not enough space in a net for him to swing the sword accurately, bro.
So you can certainly grab his hands and sort of wrap them. Make a dexterity saving throw, or make a dexterity check, just in case.
You said I was gonna chop him in the net with my sword. What the hell is up with you?
I don't think you're gonna not lop his hand off. By the way, your video's all frozen up. Anyways, Nostra, you're during your deal, he turns back to you, sort of sends Dab away. He turns to you and goes, "Now, tell me, where exactly did you acquire this piece of artifact?"
Phandelver.
Phandelver. Interesting. I suppose you were in a manner of sorts?
In a manner of speaking.
Jesus Christ, these are straight from the Father's Handbook. He turns to you and goes, "Do you have any idea what you possess in your hand at the moment, sir?"
All I know is that it keeps making me try to kill my friends.
As it should and it will. You, sir, have the cursed sword of Zarok. The indemnable sword of the Dragon King Tiamat, and something that a mere mortal like you should not be holding or possessing.
How do I control it?
Ha! You don't control it. It controls you. Drives you mad. Makes you kill anything that's in your sights as long as it gets its grips in you. I'm amazed you've been able to hold out for as long as you have. However, when controlled, when given the opportunity, it can deal severe damage to whatever gets in its way, including yourself. Be wary of that one if you're going to keep it on you, or you can simply give it to me. I will not purchase such an item, as its lineage does not need to lie in my possession. Did you disarm this from the wearer?
Yes.
Are you certain of this? You took this weapon from a beast that was handling it himself. You disarmed a man to gain this sword.
It was no man.
No man, no matter. Creature renowned, it is whether or not you earned the respect and the right to yield and wield this sword is a very important factor. If I were to purchase it or even take it off your hands, I'd need to know this fact. Without it, I refuse.
What fact?
Did you?
Did you disarm the man who carried this weapon, or did you merely find it?
It was no man. I fell the beast. I took it off of him.
Let me be very clear and very specific to you, good child, because if you answer me untrue, it could be the death of us both. Was the creature that you took this off of wielding this sword when you fell it?
He was not wielding it. It was in his possession.
This is why you've had such success with it so far. Doesn't know it's with a new master yet. Still thinks it's with its old one. You can either give me the sword and rid yourself of such dark thoughts, or you can continue to hold it and let it slowly drive you mad. It's your choice. I'm gonna stop it there. Giddy or Dab, I need you to make a couple Arcana checks, bud. What are you getting him to do first?
Like, I'll start off simple, and I'm gonna gradually work it into a Cirque du Soleil act, so they'll be like kicking each other in the ball and doing like
All
flying
right, so
trapeze and stuff.
We'll start slow. So we'll start with just some menial tasks. Make a couple Arcana checks just with a DC of 5. So this is how this is going to work. You're going to have to make successive Arcana checks. The minute you fail, you go back 2. and you will not complete your actual piece until you've done it 4 times, successively getting higher and higher. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to do a check for like 5, then a check for 10, then a check for 15, then a check for 20. You're going to just keep trying that over and over again.
Yeah.
Until you manage to get that. So your first one passes. We'll do one more. So you're going for 10 now. Another one. Okay, so we'll keep it there. For now, Richter, make another Constitution saving throw. Let's see if y'all can stop being high.
Richter don't want to stop tripping. He's enjoying it. He lives that life.
Well, currently he's got. All right, so Richter, all of a sudden these 2 hooves come towards you. These 4 horses come right towards you. They all rear their hind legs up. They fall down on you. In your face, they just land all 4 blows straight to your face. All of a sudden, you wake up and you're just sitting in a pool of sweat and a bit of blood that you have no idea where it came from. You touch your face and it's almost like draining from your nose. You grab it, it's draining from your ears as well. You have a massive splitting headache right now, and you're sitting in a pool soiled by yourself, sitting on the ground.
Can I cast Cure Wounds on myself?
You certainly can.
I mean, I sound pretty fucked up.
So physically, you don't have any physical harm except for obviously the blood coming from your ears. But all of a sudden, you cast Cure Wounds. You start to feel a little bit better. Your stomach's starting to feel a bit better, but you are still rattled mentally by the ordeal that you just went through. It was quite the happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Pino, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and Gideon, what are you doing with him? So you've managed to wrap his knuckles and rid him of a sword. So that's 1. So
nothing
Pino,
else. I'm just gonna stand there with him under the net, and I'm not gonna let him out, and I'm just gonna let him trip until it's over.
So you're still flailing, falling into the sea of zombies. All of a sudden, you just start to see like the sky above you starts to show like a checker pattern, almost like the look of a net. Make another Constitution saving throw. Looking for above 10.
Do I have to do 2 in a row? Because that's my second pass.
Is that your second pass?
Yeah. I passed one right away, then I failed 5 in a
make
row.
one for shits and giggles.
Hey.
Sure. Problem solved. All of a sudden, you see as you're falling back towards these zombies, you're sort of flailing, you're screaming mid-scream. You start to see the sky sort of coalesce into this woven fabric above you, and all of a sudden, you just hit the ground very hard on your back. It knocks the wind out of you, and you just go. And then, as that happens, the net all of a sudden just punches into existence, landing on your face, and you're just screaming as if you had just fallen down. And then you start to sort of blink your eyes and come to. You are currently naked, equipmentless, lying in a net.
While he was flailing under the net, I want to pick this stuff up.
I look at Gideon. That was amazing.
Shut the fuck up.
Got any more of that? I think I can do this. Get this fucking net off me. And rip the net off.
I pulled the net off him. Get fucking dressed, mate.
I'm going to look for the closest tree that looks like it's at a 45-degree angle and go running at it like Naruto. Try to fucking climb it.
You guys are fucking animals.
Make an acrobatics check.
I can do this. Watch.
All right. So sorry, what were you going for?
I wanted to run up, I wanted to look at the tree that I think I could try to run up and try to run up it.
So you run straight at the tree. You manage to get like 2 bounds. So you think you're running at it like Naruto style. You think you're all hardcore. You run up it. You sort of bound off 2, jump to get a branch. You catch the branch. Branch snaps. You land on your back.
Oh, that was so much easier with that unicorn blood. You got any more of that?
Get the
That shit
fuck up
tasted
so we can leave.
amazing.
Haven't you made a fool of yourself enough yet, mate? And I
Not from
hardly
my
want
point
to
of
see
view.
that ankle of you in this state. Please get dressed, mate.
From my point of view, I'm a survivor. You should have saw what I saw.
You don't know what I've seen.
I take my clothes back, start getting dressed.
Right.
What happened to my staff?
I go looking for Richter.
All right.
He actually tapping and walking away. I give him a finger.
All right, Dab will quickly jump to you. Go ahead and make a couple more Arcana checks. So you're looking for above a 15 now. All right, one more. Is he just going to rocket first try? Just cold rocket? You're looking for over 20 now.
Fuck you, Dab.
Well, let's go.
Yo, he got the Bruce Lee glow.
So Gideon, Gideon, you sort of have to cross the valley in which the Old Owl Well sits, and all of a sudden you're seeing like zombies doing cartwheels. You're seeing zombies vault each other into the air. You're seeing them do flips. You're just walking by and you're watching Dab just sort of concentrating on this group of about 3 or 4 zombies. More of them are starting to join into this massive display in front of you.
We're quitting crime and starting a circus, mate.
I call it Zombie Soleil.
I am not being a fucking clown.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd stop. I'd make eye contact with Dad and clap.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
you have the ability to take your concentration off it, give a bow with one hand out, and then make your way back up and then continue.
So now I would say rolling a nat 20 on that's going to also play into the next interaction I'm going to have with him now that I mastered that off the first try and then ended it with a nat 20. So we'll see how that goes.
You would assume that correctly. Nostra, you are faced with a decision. He turns to you and says you can either give it away or you can keep it yourself, but it's a danger.
You said it doesn't know I'm its new master. How do I let it know I'm its new master?
That would mean you have to disarm the man or kill the man that its former owner was. And since you can't really determine its lineage, I'd say that's a pretty impossible task. Well, fucking Elder Wand, but...
I can't just give it up for
You gotta
nothing. You have to give me something for it.
What's that?
You have to give me something for it. If I'm going to give it up willingly.
Why in the world would I provide you with recompense for something that will cause me as much hell as it causes you? I'm merely doing you a favor by taking it off your hands and putting it into a capable individuals. If you
know what it is, I have no idea. It made me try to fucking kill my friends. It damn near succeeded.
Then it's doing its job. Keep it with you.
Killing my friends.
You'll end up.
Oh.
Correct.
What
It's
just
going
happened?
for lust of blood. What?
I'm gonna drop the sword at his feet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna walk away.
Wow.
He just, as you turn away, he just goes, "You've made a wise decision this day, Paladin. Keep your head up. Things might turn around." And you walk away. Dab, as he turns, like as Ganja walks away, he turns and looks. And Dab, you look back, and you're almost looking for adoration at this point. You see this man as almost like a mentor now. You obviously, you respect him. You don't adorn him. Dab doesn't do that for anybody. But you're feeling pretty goddamn good about yourself. And you see this man turn around, and just for a split second, you see Haman's eyes just go wide, and then turns to you and goes, "See, you've got a bit of an inkling for this. Maybe we might take you on to something a little bit more advanced."
Told you I'm not your average wizard. I'm great and powerful, Dab Hatter. I'm old and wise.
And you have great humility, I can see.
Indeed.
Which in layman's terms means act like you know.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
I like
So,
that.
Dab, what currently do you have? You are, the highest spell slot you have is level 2, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, he turns to you and goes, "Well, controlling the dead is interesting. Sure, it's a great trick. But zombies can't exactly serve you well when they are only in short supply. You need to have the ability to create them. Maybe from something that is already dead. Something that can provide you help without needing to be alive at all." let's look into our next class in just a moment. I'll go get my things. I think there may be a little bit more to you than I expected.
Tried to tell you.
Gideon, you go. You make your way back towards the wagon. You notice, like, you see Richter there, in sort of tattered clothing now. Like, his clothing is almost like it's been rolled, like he's dirty. He's been rolling around in the dirt and everything else like that. You sort of look at him. He's got sweat beating down his head. He's got like blood stains sitting on the sides of his head from where he'd been bleeding, and blood stains near his nose. What are you doing, Gideon?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
So you meet you make your way towards the wagon. You come across a stumbling Richter, who's again, like, he's just got tattered clothes. They're dirty and they're messed up from him rolling around in the dirt. You see blood stains.
I want to see his eyes to see if they resemble Pino's when he was on a fucking bender.
Richter's eyes look regular.
Hey, are you okay?
Richter.
My bad. I was muted.
Oh, you're still high, man.
So you've just come across. So as you're walking, Richter, Gideon's come across you. You're still sweating. You're still out of breath and tired. You're obviously not bleeding anymore, but you've got blood stains beside your ears, blood stains under your nose.
Was it worth it, mate?
I still have.
Does it look like you paid a price for it? No, I'm not going to try it because you look like you had a trip I don't want to repeat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit with the ox.
I offer him my what the fuck is it? My flask of grog. You want a drink, mate?
I'm okay.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe go lay down a bit in the wagon. I'm gonna take this opportunity to put the fucking unicorn head back on the wagon.
Okay. Where are you going, Richter?
I'm gonna stay by the ox.
All right. Are you doing anything specific? Are you trying to make friends with it, or?
No, I mean, yeah, the ox is my guy, man. I'm just chilling with him, really.
Okay. All right.
He's burnt out. That fucked him up.
No, he's gonna pound that other vial as soon as you walk away.
So he goes and sits by the ox. Gideon, you sort of heave the head back up on top of the wagon. You make your way back. Ganja, what are you doing? Like, you just basically you walked away to see a small parade of zombies doing like the can effectively in your midst.
I'm just going back to the wagon, and I'm gonna wait.
All right. So you head back to the wagon. Dab, let's do these in quick succession. Do make 2 Arcana checks real quick in sequence. First one's 5, second one's 10. Okay, you made that with advantage.
Yeah, so it's 2 rolls. One rolls 5. The first one's 5.
Okay.
Second roll's 10.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it's 9 and 16. I passed them both.
You passed them both. All right. So so he turns to you and goes, "Now this is going to get a little bit more difficult. What you want to do is you're going to," and all of a sudden you see him just sort of he brings up you see like squirrels sort of walking by, and he points his hand out and lifts it up. And all of a sudden, the squirrel just turns into a humanoid creature, an abomination, 2 of them standing right in front of you. He turns to you and goes, "Kill them."
So I would cast cantrip firebolt at both of them.
Okay, go ahead and roll for attack. Okay, so you hit both of them. He turns to you and goes, "Excellent." And all of a sudden they just burn in flame and they fire up and then they fall to the ground. He says, "Now, this is going to be difficult. If you do this, you'll have my respect at the very least, and you'll have the ability to animate anything that is dead within front of you. Make them live. So you're now going to try for 2 Arcana checks at 20 each. So you're trying to pass a 20 each.
Damn.
So you're going to point at the first humanoid.
Fuck.
So all of a sudden he turns, you put your hand out towards it. This thing sort of starts to rise up and all of a sudden just turns into a pile of jelly in front of you. You look back and Koss just sort of looks and starts to shake his head. Go ahead and roll again. So he turns to you. So as this next one, all of a sudden its legs sort of stand up. Its torso stands up. It's all of a sudden its head starts to spin around. It spins so far, it snaps off. The body just falls limp to the ground. He turns to you and goes, "You have practice. I'll make you more implements." And all of a sudden you see like a massive, he puts his hands out and sort of like a mass of creatures start to come towards him. He brings his hands up like this. All of a sudden, all of those creatures turn into this abomination-looking humanoid creatures standing in front of you, about 10 or 15 of them. And then he just sort of squeezes his hands, and all of a sudden the heads of every single one of these abominations just sort of pops, like just explodes, and then they all fall lifeless to the ground. He goes, "Keep working at it. It took me a long time, too." And he sort of walks away. At this point in time, Gideon, are you coming back from the?
Hey, I actually watched them do the whole build the army real quick and pop their heads off. I'm like, I'm looking around trying to make sure that shit don't land on me.
So we'll take this one more chance, Dab, and then you may have to take this this testing on the road. So let's do one more time. So you're looking for 2 over 20. That's what you're going for. So again, the first one comes up. Once again, this thing starts to rise up. It gets a hip joint, and all of a sudden it just breaks apart and falls onto the ground. Okay, yeah. So the first one comes up. All of a sudden you see legs just sort of stand up, and you see a spine sort of go straight upright. You see a head start to corporealize, and like a small, like almost like a shrunken head grows on top of the body that was there. It starts to get bigger and bigger. You see it snap its head around and just sort of stare at you. The eyes jet black and they just glow. I need you to roll a red, green, blue, orange, red, green, Regibiv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue.
And they're going violet.
So roll a d6. So all of a sudden the eyes go purple. He turns to you and goes, "Ha ha ha. I see you found your true colors. Anything that you control will now have these eyes. You will know it is yours only with those eyes. Do not trust eyes of any other color. Unless they are yours, assume they are enemies. Now continue." So roll another. He turns to you. He like again. This thing starts to sort of come up. The head starts to turn. It snaps back, and all of a sudden, it just falls lifeless. It goes, "Take this on the road. Just find some past things, some things that have gone on to the next life. If you understand what I'm saying. Keep working your magic. However, mind the squirrels. When they come back from the undead, they tend to be a little bit bitey, a little harder to control."
And at this time, I think he would have a mutual respect for each other. He's seen the things I can do with the zombies. And I would turn to him and I would ask him, now, I appreciate all that you've done for me, but we have friends in the villages who say they've been attacked by your zombies. If you're so great and powerful, could you please try to do a better job of keeping your zombies within range so that you don't have to come back here again?
You've now seen what I'm doing here. You know I mean no one no harm. Tell your friends this area is off limits and to leave me alone and leave me to my work. No one will be harmed. You have my word.
No zombies outside the gate.
Where exactly do you find a gate?
Well,
Understood,
no zombies outside
my
the
men
front door.
won't wander. Let's put it that way.
Indeed, that's all I ask. I appreciate your time. Thank you for all you've shown me. I know we will speak again.
Now, before you go, young gnome, I want you to do me a favor. The reason I'm here is because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for answers. I need to understand where this well came from and who built it. There's a banshee. I'm assuming you know of the creature.
We have heard.
She is not one for the faint of heart. Her name is Agatha, and I refuse to speak with her, as I won't risk the banshee's anger. And you shouldn't either. However, I know that your friend, the noble, has something that she wants. I ask you, when she gives you the opportunity for an answer, she will only give one. You must ask this question, and come back to me and give me the answer. I need to know who built this tower. I need to understand where this magic has come from so I can begin to decipher it and use it for my own uses. Trust me, friend. The class of necromancy will be all the better once we receive this.
It shall be done. And I'd make my way back to the cart.
All right, so you're going to make your way back to the cart. Everybody's sort of congregating around the cart. Pino, you and Gideon sort of make your way back from where you were. You're sort of starting to put your clothes back on. You're still pretty tattered and bruised, and you're pretty disheveled as well from all of the hell you went through. You get back and you look at Pino, or you look at Richter, and you see he's in similar shape to you. You didn't know he took a vile hit, but you sort of see it.
Just nod at him.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did any of us see this kid give the sword back to the guy?
You wouldn't have. The only person who might have, make a perception check, Dab.
Didn't see shit.
Nope.
It's a shame too, because you definitely saw him, because you said, "Wow." I remember.
Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, so then Dab would have seen that. Dab would have recognized that happened, and he knows that.
Dab, are you going to tell me that? Would you tell me that?
What am I telling you?
That this kid
that Ganja dropped his sword and then walked away.
Oh, no, I'm definitely telling Gideon that, because I know he was totally against it.
Okay, so is Ganja now around us?
Yeah, he's back at the cart. We're all back at the cart.
Okay. How does he look right now? I want to look. I'm going to use insight to check his mood.
Go ahead and roll insight. Are you trying to deceive him in any way?
No, I'm not trying to trick him. I want to see if I can see his mood. Like,
no, is Ganja trying to deceive you?
Oh, is he?
Nope. I'm an open book right now.
Thank God, because I'm not smart.
You can tell I've got a lot on my mind right now.
You're muted there. Nostra, I'm sure you just made a great speech and none of us heard it.
I heard him.
I'm muted?
I heard him.
You just say he got a lot on his mind.
He's got a lot on his mind. Nostra's an open book. He said he's an open book. He's not trying to hide anything.
Can you hear any of us, Jared?
Jared.
Have you muted us?
Yeah.
I think you're broken.
You can't hear us.
You mute it yourself? Nope, he's gone.
All righty, well, I think we'll take this opportunity to have a quick smoke break. We're going to jump back in after this. We'll be watching D&D with THC. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Welcome back to D&D with THC. We're back from our smoke break here, and I'll hand things back over to Jared. Take it away, Jared.
Okay, so, okay, interesting. You guys make your way back to the cart, and you find yourself, especially Pino and Richter, you're a little fucked up. You've gotten your sort of next marching orders, which would be to go see Agatha. Going to see Agatha has a couple of reasons. For instance, you, Ganja, want to go ask her. You want to go ask her. Jesus, I can't remember. You want to ask her. Oh, who owns a particular book, or what is the location of a particular book? Dab want to ask her something along the lines of who built the Old Owl Well, and so on. So, you guys know where she is. You've been instructed as to where she is, but you also know you need to be cautious. So, what are you doing?
Your mic's all fucked up. Nostra. So what are we approaching this lady? Approaching the area we know.
It's about a 1 day's pass over to Coneyberry, where you know that the Banshee is known to basically live.
I'm gonna sleep on the wagon. Meditate.
Okay.
Try to feel a little better about coming down from that unicorn blood.
Okay, so you sort of sleep on the wagon. What's everybody doing in terms of marching order? So it's about a day's walk away. So as you guys are making your way, it's that head that sits off the back is starting to get pretty raunchy, very very gnarly in terms of it's decaying. It's about a day and a half, or actually just shy of a full day's worth of travel over to Coneyberry. You guys make your way towards Coneyberry, and you find yourselves in this forest-like area with large amounts of mountainsides around you. You see small signs for Coneyberry. You see settlements, but these settlements don't have anybody in them anymore. They're sort of decrepit buildings and so on. The forest, it grows as you get into it. The forest grows dark as the trail winds deeper into the trees. Heavy vines and thick layers of moss drape the branches, and the air is actually noticeably colder as you guys exhale. You see your breath. You round the bend in the trail, and you see a screen made of warped branches of trees standing close together, woven into almost like a dome-like shelter, and a low doorway leads inside.
Looks like where we want to go,
hear me now?
fellas. Yep.
Nope.
Yep, you're fine.
I'm
So
just a couple
what are we
seconds behind.
here for
It should-
again, man?
We need to speak to the Banshee.
What are we asking, man?
I need to ask her where this tower was built at the Old Owl Well, and who built it.
But weren't we hired to ask? Oh no, it wasn't me. That wasn't me. Sorry about that. That was Nostra that had something to do with that.
Yeah, Nostra's the only one who really knows why you're going to the old or to Agatha, anyways.
Well, Dab just offered his reason.
So we would probably there's a doorway with the trees overhanging it. Is that what you're saying? Roots or whatever?
Yeah, basically, like you see this dome in front of you, and there's a doorway that's basically
Nostra back in the chat with us.
or branches making a very thick closing in front of it.
At this point, we've traveled per day.
Yeah. Could we investigate the door?
You certainly can. So you look, and the door is almost impassable. You're not able to get past it. Wow, Jared. It's impassable. You're unable to get past it. It's this thickened branches and so on. You sort of put your hand over top of it. Dab, make an Arcana check. So you start to read. Can you read Elvish?
No.
So you start to see some strange lettering sitting on the door.
And I'll turn to one of my other elven friends and I'll say, "Here, please translate."
I'll take a look at it.
Where's Nostra?
He's here, but his internet's fucking poo-poo.
Oh, he just messed up. Because he was quiet and I didn't know.
So you look on the door. The door enters and says the words. What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
When you add how many letters?
I just heard this damn riddle like a month ago.
It's shorter.
Short.
Yeah, it's short.
When you add 2 letters to it.
So all of a sudden, the branches start to furl away, and an opening shows up, and you see sort of like a blackened opening. Somehow, when you're looking at the opening, though, you don't see anything like past it. It almost looks like it's just completely black as soon as you look towards it.
And my dark
Stick
vision.
your hand in it, Dab.
My dark vision doesn't see through it or nothing like that.
Nope.
It's not actually darkness.
Nope.
So can I do another Arcana check?
You certainly can.
I'm gonna poke my staff through while he's looking at it.
You poke the staff in at it, and your staff just keeps stopping as it gets to this where the door was. It's just almost as if there's like a complete wall there. You know that there's some kind of magic keeping this closed.
What if we knock? I knock on the door with my staff.
Me being short and the riddle being short, I'll try to walk through the bottom part.
So you go to walk through the bottom part and you just run straight into blackness. Like you run straight into the wall of blackness and sort of bounce back. All of a sudden, you make a perception check.
Everybody or just
14.
You hear the words, "You must run before you crawl."
Yeah, take a running start at that.
I'll run and then I'll fall on my knees and try to crawl through.
Okay. Are you running and then falling on your knees before you get to the door?
Yeah, kind of trying to do it all in one motion.
So you run as hard as you can and then you fall to your knees. As you fall to your knees, you sort of slow down significantly and you run head first into the bottom of the door.
So that didn't work.
What are you doing?
I think you should run at the wall.
Head first. Full tilt.
All right, and I'll back up and I'll just keep trying to do it.
So you gun it towards the door. Everybody looking around you. All of a sudden, you see your tiny gnome friend just disappear.
I think he's found the key. I think we'll attempt to run at the wall as well.
All right, Pino, you run towards and you disappear as well.
Say something?
Yeah, you blink into past the wall as well. Is anybody else going through that wall?
Yeah, I'll go through.
So Gaja, you take a running start and you like clanker and clatter all of your armor. You disappear through the wall as well.
I might as well go because it's lonely out here without anybody.
All right, Gideon. So all of your friend Richter's sleeping in the cart right now. You sort of look back, say, he's fine. You take off headlong into it. You blink in through this, and then all of a sudden you come into this open area with it's extremely dark in the area, but you can still see relatively well with most of you have dark vision, but it's not so dark that you can't see your face and hand in front of you, but you can't see very far. You start to hear this sort of laughter, just and in front of you, a spotlight shines in the middle of this area, and it shines on a humanoid figure sitting at what looks to be like a very small wooden bar, and you sort of hear in the background, you sort of like hear in whispers, "Party hard." And this figure sitting at the table has got a massive cask of ale behind him.
This is the same ugly little fuck from before.
No, this is a humanoid figure.
I'm small, but he's got a large cask of ale. Didn't we just beat a guy's ass and take a cask of ale from him?
It's not attached to him. It's just literally like sitting up on a cask, like a cask holder behind this guy.
Okay. I'll take a cup of that ale, mate.
He turns to you and he just sort of looks at you with black eyes. So his eyes are completely black and goes, "Drink me out of the table, you, and talk to Agatha."
And I'll kind of tug on Gideon's robe, and I'll say, "I was just."
That's a challenge that I was born to accept, mate. And I sit down at the table before.
Just out of game, when he was referring to the color eyes, did he mean if it was the color eyes of the undead that I have to look after, or just color eyes in general?
No, he's just. It was. Well, I don't know. Actually, I couldn't tell you that.
Yeah, but we were talking about undead. My undead beings would have purple eyes, right?
Correct.
All right. I don't know if this is an undead being, so
You can make an Arcana check to find out.
No, I don't need to. We can just play it out and see how it goes. I was just making sure that he was referring to undead and not just all creatures in general. Yeah.
So so this one turns to you. So this is going to be a test of wit. So it's basically going to be contesting Constitution saving throws. Continually, I'm trying to think here. This is going to be contested Constitution saving throws. You get 3 in a row, you win. You miss 1, you're going to fall to the ground piss drunk. Okay, so that's how this game is going to go. You guys can try as many times as you want, and you're just going to keep getting more and more drunk. Every time you get drunk, aka you lose, you're going to lose 1d4 health. Now,
let's chit chat more drinking.
So he sort of fills up 2 buckets of ale or 2 bottles of ale, throws the bottle down to you. Go ahead and make a Constitution check.
Check or saving throw?
Check. So you're trying to beat 20.
You've got this.
Yes, mate.
Show him why you're a pirate.
So the first person falls to the victim to it. All of a sudden you see Gideon with absolute fervor picks up the glass, throws it back. What are you just doing it for fun? Throws it back.
I didn't mean to.
Slams it down. All of a sudden you see him like go, and then just all of a sudden he starts to tilt, falls off the stool and falls down. You take 2 points of psychic damage as you fall to the ground.
That ain't enough to stop me, man. More.
So you're currently on the ground. You get incapacitated for about a turn. So because you're still pissed drunk. Is anybody else stepping up for this?
I'll step up.
All right.
I'll say I've been drinking some funny things lately. This ain't gonna compare.
Pino, go ahead and make a Constitution Constitution check. You're looking to beat a 16. 14. You do the same. You take a beer drink, you chug it back, you fall over on the ground right beside Gideon. Gideon, you sort of stagger up to your feet.
I'm gonna use Pino's face to put my hand on to stand up.
Anybody up next?
I'll take my little bundle that I made with the comb in it, and I'll have it open so the comb is visible. And I'll sit down at the table, and I'll set that on the table next to me, and I'll just look at the guy. As you set
that on the table, you just hear, that just means I won't kill you. But thanks for the gift. Still got to earn my right to talk to me, though.
I'll take a drink.
All right, Constitution check.
Any damage from either.
11. compared to 8. So the first one you win. So all of a sudden you drop down your glass other than the others, apart from the others. You drop down your glass. Pino, you take 1 point of psychic damage. You drop your glass down. You sort of stare steely-eyed into his eyes. He turns you and goes, another!
I'll pick the comb up, and I'll brush my long hair with it a couple of times, and I'll set it back down, and I'll take another drink.
Dirt, no?
You just hear,
I thought we were the drunk ones.
you just hear pretty boy. Make a constitution check. Looking to beat a 13 and a 16. Second one is successful. You drop back another drink. You slam it down. This one slams it down. He's feeling tipsy. You're feeling it, but both of you going toe to toe. He goes and goes, one more and you fall in love, son. Another.
He's a much better drinker than he used to be, mate.
Pino also didn't take his D4 damage.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't-
said that.
You don't take a D4 damage if you succeed.
He failed though, didn't he?
No, he rolled a
Pino-
1 after. I said it already.
Oh, okay.
Pino took his 1. He took
Oh,
1
okay.
point. Of
I
psychic
see
damage.
it now. I see it now. My bad.
One more, Ganja. Constitution roll.
Stand up.
22.
22. Fuck. I need a natural 20 to beat that. But I'm going to stand up, 1 foot on the bench. I'm going to stare him right in the face as I slug this back. Nope.
All of a sudden, you just take this drink, you throw it down, you try and keep eye contact with them as long as possible. You just sort of, and you fall off to the side, falling up to the ground.
And another one bites the dust.
And another one down.
Shut up and stop trying to steal my glory, Pino.
All right.
I thought it was a great song. I just wanted to join in.
So can I roll for Richter? Because I know he would definitely want to do this.
Yeah, all of a sudden you see Richter come running in from behind you. He runs and bounds in, and he sort of falls and stumbles and goes, "Are we drinking?" And then he runs up to the thing, just sort of grabs a glass, doesn't even ask questions. Go ahead and roll a Constitution check for Richter. He's looking to beat a natural 20.
What the fuck? This guy is drinking us under the fucking table.
Well, he was close, though. Unfortunately, Richter falls off to the side. He takes... This guy's a good drinker. I've not rolled under a 10 yet. He takes 3 points of psychic damage as he falls to the floor. Anybody else jumping up with this guy?
Yeah,
I'm at, like, I almost had him last time. Just let me go one more time.
I'll take another.
Let me get
Are
this
you
stuff.
jumping in on this, too?
We're all jumping in on this, I suppose.
He just turns all through and goes, the more the merrier. He throws down 3 drinks to each of you, so everybody's going to make the same contested throw.
Dab during all of this is just standing back, smoking his pipe, laughing.
Okay.
Oh,
So anyone beat a 5. Pino has had 0 constitution today, like nothing. And he's got +2. So he's right up there with everybody else. Pino, you take, like, all of a sudden you just, I guess it's just because you were still affected by the unicorn blood in your body. You get a bigger sting. You take 4 points of psychic damage as you fall to the ground.
This is some fantastic shit you got here.
Straight out, mate.
when Gideon and I both don't fall over, I just look at him and go, ah!
Just
So
stay down, mate. This game's not for men of your caliber.
I didn't
You don't know my caliber.
You didn't even know.
you hear the guy
Yeah,
go, another.
yeah.
He puts it back. He rolls a 6. So both of you can contest that.
I clink my cup with ganja. Another.
Let's go. Oh, sorry, it rolled on my Beyond sheet.
Gideon, you beat it just by the skin.
I
So
take a
does
big
Ganja, you're too
I
deep.
get it all down.
Yeah, you too deep. He goes, one more and you get to have the love of your life. Another.
Come on, mate.
Let's go.
You got to beat a 19. God,
Nope.
you fall to the floor.
I'm slightly
Gideon
as I-
now. Oh man! All right, both of you fall to the floor. You each take 2 points of psychic damage. Dab's still gone. Pino, you want another round?
Tag me in.
All right, Pino jumps in. The two of you scamper up, just being able to just sort of fall off. I mean, you didn't lose by much. You just sort of scamper up. All three of you get back to the bar.
I'm stubborn as fuck. I'm going again because I almost had this guy twice.
Yeah, so all three of you, I'm assuming Gideon, you jump up and want to go again as well?
Yeah, I just can't talk because I'm so fucking drunk.
All right, so all of you just get back up on the bar. He goes, another one I say, let's go, another. And he throws it down. He's Pino finally beats him. Ganja beats him on the first drink.
I'm thinking about the smell of the zombies before,
Falls off.
and I'm gagging a little bit, but I'm holding it together because I'm just thinking about the smells of the zombies.
Gab jumps up on his seat. His legs.
No, Richter.
Oh, Richter. Sorry, then Richter jumps up on his seat again after falling down the first time. He stands up, is ready to go. He gets past a drink. He swigs one down, falls back off of his stool. Those who fell off their stool take 4 points of psychic damage as you fall off.
Drunk, I'm like, somebody farted.
Pino and Ganja still in the fray. Ready. He takes you both and goes, Anava.
This man is a demon, and we should not be here with
21.
him.
Fuck you, Jared.
And I spew on that one.
All right, so all of you spew on that one. You fall down.
I avoid the piles of spew and stand my drunk ass back up to the counter.
3 points of psychic. This is gonna be long. 3 points of psychic damage. Gideon, Ganja, and Pino. Is everybody standing back up?
I'm up.
Oh yeah, I'm up.
All right.
I'm doing this. I gotta have it now.
I need Dab to roll for Gideon, or sorry, for Richter. But going at her again, he goes, "You boys are brave men. I never."
Hold on. Before this next round, I'm gonna cast Bless.
Okay.
Why didn't you do that a long time ago?
Because I didn't think about it.
You
Okay.
ungrateful wretch. Another.
So yeah, I'm gonna cast Bless on up to 3 creatures. So myself, Pino, and Gideon all.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. 1 sec.
Don't you touch me with that religious mumbo jumbo.
I don't gotta touch you. I just gotta kind of look at you.
I don't believe in gods. I am an iconoclast.
All right, so I think all of you by the hair. I've seen Pinos and I've seen Richters. I haven't seen Gideon. Gideon, you can roll a d4 and save yourself. Ganja, you can roll a d4 and save yourself.
Oh my god.
5.
Uh,
Oh God, Gideon! Dude, that once in a row. Gideon falls off the stool.
I'm sleep. I can't drink no more. I'm sleep.
Gideon, you take 2 points of psychic damage. Ganja, you managed to just get by.
Hold my beer. I got this.
So right now, second round, we have Pino, we have Richter, we have Ganja. All right, going in for round 2. He goes, Anava! He rolls an 8. Ganja beats him off the hop. Pino beats him off the hop. Roll Richter's Constitution. Richter beats him off the hop. Going for a third one, he turns to you and goes, I see you're gonna fall in love today, loves. Anava! And he turns to, once again, he'll roll. He rolls a 10.
Idly.
Pino beats him on the third try. Ganja beats him on the third try. Richter beats him on the third try. Gideon
Grab up.
falling on the ground. All the rest of the boys, he goes, you men have fought with honor, and I thank you for it. Now meet Agatha. And all of a sudden, he corporealizes and turns into almost like this mist that whisks away. The air grows cold and a powerful feeling of dread grips you. A cold, pale light flickers in the air, rapidly taking on the form of a female elf, her hair and robes waving in his spectral wind. She might have been beautiful once, but a hateful expression twists her features now. Foolish mortals, she snarls. What do you want here? Do you not know death? It is death to seek me out?
I'm drunk as fuck, and I pick the bundle up with the comb, and I just throw it at her.
I knew it was you this whole time. You drink like a woman.
I fart loud as shit.
well, while sleeping.
She turns to all of you and goes, "Ah, a gift, I see. Very well. I know that you seek many things. Ask me one question, and only one, and I will give you the answer."
Where's the bathroom?
We need no.
So at that time, at that time, I would ask her who built the owl well.
No,
the tower at the owl well.
All of a sudden,
no.
So
Don't listen to him. He's drunk.
So I need everybody to roll here. So the drunk people are going to roll with disadvantage. So you're going to just do a contested D20 roll. Okay.
I was asking Gideon.
Since
roll your D20.
I brought the comb. Can I get a straight up roll?
No, you cannot. Doesn't matter. She doesn't take favorites. Dab, that was pretty piss poor.
Do I get advantage though because I'm not drunk?
No, that's why they get disadvantage. But it's not helping Obi-Wan.
And
Gideon, yeah.
Gideon doesn't need. Gideon has no question to ask. As far as he wants to ask the same question I do.
Why are you trying to take advantage of me while I'm drunk?
Gideon didn't beat you anyways. I can't believe it.
Wait. I still have bless. I'm rolling my D4 to add to that.
It's not a check. This isn't a bless issue.
It's just a straight up. And Pino Long, how did you win with a 6?
I did though. So I'm definitely asking her.
6. All right. So all of a sudden, as she says this, you raise your hand in the air, Ganja. All of a sudden, Dab just walks amongst all of you drunk ass folks, just sort of stumbling around, looks her straight in the eye and asks.
I grab Dab and I go, books.
Who built the tower at the Owl Well? That's the question I was supposed to ask, right? That's what he wanted to know.
Yeah, and he just goes, I see Cost has some questions for me to answer. Well, I traded a book many years ago. It was a weird book. But alas, book nonetheless. You wish to understand where and who built the old Owl Well Tower?
Yes.
He was a great wizard. His name was Arthendal. I know Cost will know him well, and I know he'll be angry as ever to find it out. Now be gone! And all of a sudden, she just sort of flaps her hands back, and a massive corporealized mist hits you like a wave. It knocks you guys back out the door as you guys roll. You roll all the way out the door and into the forest in which you were before. You sort of upset the ox that was standing there before as well. You see the vines just sort of grow back into a door closed, and you just hear laughter.
What a bitch!
Maybe we can get back in if you run at it again.
I don't want to run right now. My insides don't feel good.
I reach over and cast Cure Wounds on Gideon.
Gideon, all of a sudden, you start to feel a little bit better.
Is there more drugs?
And you'll heal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, as you guys make your way out, all of a sudden, the like your headaches are pounding, but you don't feel under a spell anymore. You don't feel hurt anymore. So all of your health points just reset back to where they were.
Oh man, now that I've sobered up some, I wish we'd have brought some of that grog. That was top notch shit. Oh man.
It was all right.
Did you do what we were supposed to?
Yeah, I've got all the information I need. We need to go back and see Harmon immediately.
Why
There
would
was-
we go back to see Harmon?
There was another question. What'd she say about the book? I didn't really catch all that because I was kind of fucked up for a bit there.
What book?
It was an old book that it was a weird book she gave to a wizard named Arfendal.
Nope.
Who's a,
No,
I-
the word she said was she knew of an old book, but
Oh.
she started talking about the book and then deferred to, but you want to know about the old owl well.
yeah,
While the person who built that tower was Arthendal.
yeah. But she said that
It
she
is-
made mention of the book. Or
What
Made
a
book?
mention of the book, but never said where it came from, who owned it, or whatever.
So then why
There
did
was-
she make
there was-
mention about the book?
Because that was what this kid wanted to ask her, but she didn't.
Yeah, he was mumbling it the entire time while you were
I-
talking.
I yelled books because I know you like books, and I was like,
No, I
"Books!"
understood. I understood that, but I thought she had said that something about the book related to Arfendal as well.
Nope.
So yeah, I'll just tell him I needed to know who built the old LOL. She didn't say
Or-
much about the book. She said that she knew of a book that she gave to old man.
Why do we care so much about this creepy old man at the well anyway?
I don't. I just
We've
wanna know
given
who
him a
built the
lot.
well.
If you didn't, we wouldn't be here.
You,
We've given
you
that man a lot.
definitely do.
I
The
don't
only
care.
reason you asked that question was for that man.
Oh, he's not an old
There
man.
was-
That's a wizard. He's a wise wizard. He's taught me a lot of things that have already helped us along our quest.
Nope.
Them zombies have took a lot more blows than you have, my friend.
You did that all by yourself before he did anything for you.
Yeah, but them zombies also helped us, like I had just said.
And you did that all by yourself before he did anything for you.
And you also benefited from
And the
it.
gnome being in it for himself again.
Barely.
You would have died
Again.
had that zombie not been cannon fodder for you and raised itself from the dead multiple times. You may think what you want, but those are the true
You may
facts.
have died. You may have died.
You
I've
did
always
die.
got my answers.
The zombies have helped us out, but what has he done for us?
Give me the ability to control the zombies, to make me a great and powerful wizard, more great and powerful than I already am.
All I keep hearing is give you.
Yeah, and get your ass out of trouble.
No.
Yes, multiple times. I have
Yeah,
saved.
and we've
No.
gotten your ass out of trouble multiple times too. Stop bringing
No.
that up, mate.
Sir, you have not.
Yes, I have.
You have caused trouble for us on multiple occasions. I would give you that one.
I have also been dealt damage from afar, like we're all in peril. Either way, come with me or not, I am heading back to the old well, and I'll start walking towards the well.
So you start walking towards the well, the oxen sort of following whoever's walking in a certain direction. You make
I
your
jump
way
on the
back.
ox. Yeah.
You
Run
make
that
your way
dab with
back.
the ox.
So you jump on and you go, yeah, and the ox just sort of looks back at you and like in disdain and then continues on forward.
I stay on top of him.
You guys
Kick
sort
him.
of make your way through. You go back to the old owl well. Once again, you see the zombies. You manage to. Did I change? Oh, that's why. That looked really weird is from that point of view. You take a look at the zombies. You see the zombies sort of just sauntering around the well. You see Haman come out of his tent. He sort of looks at you, Dab, as you make your way towards it. You've already tied up the carriage. He turns to you and goes, "And what of the answer?"
And what was the agreement? He was going to teach me even more had I get this answer?
No, he just asked you to. He needed more information from you.
Oh yeah, he wanted the answer, and I was just kind of doing it because I appreciated what he had done for me already. So I would
Yeah.
proceed to tell him that the Banshee had told us that a wizard by the name of Arfendal had built this whole entire place, and that you would know who that
As you
is.
say the word Arthendal, you see him here. You sort of visually see him shudder, and he just goes, "I knew it. This man has been the bane of my existence my entire life, and that is much longer than you have ever seen to live and hope to live forever. He has been my enemy and I was suspecting he was at the foot of this. I will have to be here for much longer to delve with secrets and understand what he did here. Make no mistake, Arthendal is a threat to us all, and as I don't appreciate the living at all, I don't appreciate being undead either. Watch yourself, Dab of Hatters. You will have to be wary of this man. He could come to us at any time. Let me be here. Let me do my research. Continue with your work. And come back when you've gotten a little bit more mastery over the necromancy ways.
All right, and I at that time, I think I would just relay to everybody we're done here now. We can continue on or return to Fen.
We're done here. What did you
I'm not
mean?
done. I'm not done. I want to talk to you again. I had answers that I needed to ask Agatha. Your answers were more important than that. She knows something about a book of some kind.
And that's why
Do you
I
know
was
anything
watching.
about a book that she would know about?
I don't know nothing about no book.
No, I'm talking to
okay.
Harmon Cost.
Or you're talking to Haman, he goes, you had an option. She was to give you one answer, and
I didn't have an option. Your question was asked before I could do anything. I brought her back home so we didn't die. I wasn't the only one who got through the little drinking competition we had to have, but I made it through nonetheless. I had questions to ask, and your question became the question that was asked.
And this is my problem, how?
Because I'm standing here without my question answered, and yours is.
Seems like you've had yourself a bad day. Perhaps you should cool off. Maybe watch your tone around me.
Ooh.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Son, I don't think you understand who you're talking
Son?
to. So you pointed him, and again, while you want to get wily with him, you do understand that this dude is hundreds of years old.
I understand that. So am I. I'm 420 years old.
And so he sort of turns to you and goes, you may want to be wary on the next steps you take, for they might be your last. Your friends have good favor with me for now, but I am not exactly amenable to threats, nor am I amenable to young men who have...
I'm not threatening you. When have I threatened you?
I don't appreciate your tone, sir. Leave my land and leave me be. I have not your answer. You can take up your misdeeds with your tiny friend over there.
I feel like you've taken advantage of me and my group of friends. And you should answer some questions. You haven't answered any questions for us. We've found answers for you. We've had answers or questions answered for you.
All of a sudden,
what have you given us?
He sparks up a black orb in his hand. And Dab, I need you to make an Arcana check.
FYI, I wouldn't even have went back on a state of the cart this time because I knew that what Dab asked was for no fucking reason.
Okay.
Or
Dab,
it didn't matter to me.
You know what he's prepping is a pretty powerful spell. It's in the level 10s to level 11s. And what he's prepping right now is basically almost like it's like a blink spell. So it's basically a tiny little, with a roll like that, it's basically a tiny little universe sitting in his hand that he can basically throw upon anybody he chooses. And he just turns to you and goes, I'm also rooting for the first full of unicorn blood, trying to get one last taste. I love that. So he sort of looks to you and goes, take another step, say another word, and you will find yourself in a world you have never been before, my friend. Take your leave now while I am still amenable, but continue on your path, and you will find yourself in a world of pain. And so, Dab, you have one opportunity here to sway.
Not saying nothing.
Okay.
I am.
Are you there?
Yeah, I walked up with him. My whole thing, I was fussing at Dad for doing this for free.
Okay.
Mate, a word could I have with you? And I'm talking to Ganja.
I'll look over.
I'm not sure what he can do with whatever that is he's summoning in his hand. I'm pretty sure you can't take it, though. Maybe we should live to fight another day.
All I'm saying is this guy is taken.
I didn't ask you what you were saying, mate. I'm telling you what it is.
You know what? I'm proud, but I respect you. And I'll step away.
I appreciate that, mate. I didn't want to scrape you up off the ground here.
And as you sort of turn your back, you see,
But I'll give him a look as I turn.
Yeah, as you turn your back, he says, "You have fire in you. It's respectable. It's honorable. But learn to control it, or it will control you. Ensure you keep your feelings in check when you are in heightened points of emotion. Battle is no place for little girls. It is a place for men who make decisions to save lives."
Surely you do not presume to lecture us, mate. Though my friend was wrong in the way he came at you, you did take advantage of us, mate. But we'll make our leave here. But understand that karma is a cruel mystery.
And I understand this greatly. Have your leave. And he just sort of turns, he sort of frills his cape and walks back into his tent.
As we walk away, I said, Dab, you put us in a position to work for this fuckboy for free. There will be an answering for that.
It might have been free for you, but I learned quite a lot.
See,
So in other words,
about
you only you
single
that's
hurt people.
Dad? Is that it?
We're a group. I gave up my sword.
Selfish, mate.
You
Dad.
give up a sword that none of us wanted you to have in the first place. If you continue to go
For
cry
the
about
group.
that, cry about it.
I'm
in the
not
corner.
crying about it.
It's a sword
It's,
that damn near
I
killed
did that
me and
for the
damn near
group.
killed Gideon. How is killing
Did I
everybody
not do
for
that
the group?
for the group?
It should have never left the place it was dropped. You went behind our backs, picked it up, and brought it along with us. It was a liability this whole entire time. Why you
I
even brought it out of that
Agreed.
place?
It's a liability as well, Dab. You do what is good for Dab's pockets, for Dab's knowledge, Dab's information. What
How many
about the
things
rest
have
of
you
us? I
pocketed?
don't want to work for
You
this
know?
crummy necromancer for fucking free, Dab. I don't want to. It's not fair.
We
It's
made
not
money.
honorable.
We made money
It's not
from him.
fair.
We lost a lot
What
more.
did I make from him, Dab?
We sold him things. We didn't make
Yeah,
money from
sold
him.
him things. That is not him giving us money. We
I never
did
said give
some.
him money. I said made money from him. If we didn't sell that blood to him, it would have been spoiled by the time it got to anywhere else we were to sell it. Either way, it was money
And
made.
that's not Dab.
That had nothing to do with it.
Yes, nothing, Dab. You act in your own interest. It's become tiresome, mate.
I am here to gain more
The
knowledge,
last
and more
time
knowledge I
ran
have
with
gained.
You, Dab. Do not make me work for free, Dab. This is the second time I've asked you not to. The third time requires an answer.
Dab, as you're walking by, you see a fire starting to light inside you, because basically what you want to do is show some worth for what you've done. As you're walking by, you see a couple of dead animals, just basically, dead from the time that they've been spending in this sort of undead area. Go ahead and make a couple Arcana checks with advantage, because basically at this point, sort of anger is starting to build up. Well, not even so much anger, but as resiliency is starting to build up based on
Are they approaching the cart at this point?
Yes, they're walking towards the cart. Right now, Dab sees two squirrels sitting on the ground. All of a sudden, he reaches his hand out, and he sort of... So, Dab, I'll let you take this. You have the power.
Yeah, so these things were dead, and I bring them back to life, and they then take human form, and they come up and grab Gideon by each arm, and I show to him, say, "Listen, I have great power now that will benefit all of us. Look what I can do."
Does that, as he does that, hold on. As he does that, I'm going to use my channel divinity and cast control undead on one of the two.
If they're walking up to the cart and I watch him and I watch two things raise out of the ground, the first thing I do would moonbeam them.
That doesn't make sense.
No, not a chance. If I saw two undead things without any context, I would attack immediately.
No, you would see me. You would see me controlling them. They didn't just do this out of nowhere.
One of them has to make a wisdom.
And
One of them has
casting
to
that.
make a wisdom saving
They can't
throw.
do it unless they can't
get
do
to
it just
respond.
out of nowhere. They can't do it just out of nowhere. You would see me
Bro,
controlling them.
this is happening to
We've
me.
seen
I
many
get to
things.
respond.
You've seen many things come out of nowhere.
Well, I'm going to point out. I assume that like he was. Are you just doing this unprovoked, Dab, or are you sort of saying, "Watch this" or something?
Yeah, no, I would be basically making the motion. You had to said it before. I had to make the motion to raise the squirrels out of the dead, and then they would turn into the humanoids, and then I would then control the humanoids.
Yes,
So-
you have to make hand movements to cast a spell.
Yeah.
You didn't walk over, pick them up, start putting them together.
No, but you see me doing the hand movements, and you see the result of what my hand movements are doing. And if you can't put
But what's-
fucking two
but
and
the
two
thing is
together
that
like
you
that,
can't just say they grab me. You got to say they come at me because I
They-
get to respond.
they don't come up to you in a lethal manner.
Bro, I don't care how they came up. You just sent two undead creatures at me, bro. I don't get to respond to that. I don't get to do nothing to that. Nah, you don't get to grab me with those shits. I'm from the streets, bro.
So they're not grabbing you. Fine, they come up and they both pick me up, and they carry me now.
Find
Just to,
out, if these were squirrels. Remember, he told you this. These were squirrels. These squirrels that are clearly dead on the ground rise up. They do not turn into humans. You can't just magically change.
you
animals.
said before they turned into a humanoid form and they were become zombies.
No, you can raise humanoids as a spell says.
Yeah, what he did was he was taking animals, turning them into humanoid abominations, and then killing them for you to work on. He told you
Oh.
after that, go ahead and find animals, but be wary, squirrels can tend to bite. So these two undead squirrels that are basically blackened.
Okay, so
with
if
these
they're
slit eyes.
they're not black and they're purple because I control them.
Correct.
So now, if they're just squirrels, I would have them both hop up on either part of my shoulder. And then I would
Okay.
then relay to the rest of the group, say, I can do this with any dead creature, anything at all. If we have a fight in a graveyard, we have an unlimited army. You've seen what
do
the
not
zombies.
believe you.
You've seen what the zombies have done in the past. You know
We're-
that they're hard
we're
to
not
kill.
denying that. We're not denying that zombies have their use. I agree with that. They definitely have their use.
So I wouldn't say this is for free. While you may not have benefited directly from it, there will be benefits to come. You could be assured.
Fact of the matter
Yeah.
is that I
Well,
had
bro,
questions
You
to
can
ask
get to
for
sell
Agatha.
me a dream as payment, man.
It's done already. Choose
We
to travel
wasted
with
that
me or not.
question
I
on
can
nothing.
control the dead. I'll move on with my dead army, and you can go your own way. I have no problem with that. So we can either drop it now, squash it, and benefit
Well-
from the dead, or you can continue to argue and bicker like children.
It-
What's
it's-
done is done.
It's not
I will
about
leave.
now. It's about
It's
the next
about-
time. It's about
You know,
the next time when you
took
do
the
it again.
opportunity
What's
to
the
just
next? There is
take
no next
advantage
time.
of this
Ganja's already
situation to
fucked
ask
up
your
this.
question. Is that not wrong? Like
You all
am
chose
I-
to
am I
drink.
not-
You all chose to drink and put yourselves at a
So we
disadvantage.
could
I
ask
chose
the
to stand
goddamn
back.
question.
You
First
could
of
ask.
all,
we could ask
have
He
to
asked
worry
what
about putting
question they
ourselves at a
wanted.
Disadvantage with our friend.
You could have asked whatever question you wanted. I asked the question I wanted. I won. That's the question that was asked. If you don't like it,
What-
it's been
what-
done already. We could continue to
What did
argue
you
about the
win?
past,
We
or
won
we
the
could
drinking
continue.
competition.
What did I win? I
Put it
just
this
raised
way.
two dead squirrels and
Put
put
it
them on
this
my
way.
shoulders.
One of us
Put it
had
this
the
way.
right,
You can
and
for-
we should have had the right to ask a question.
Put it this
We
way:
went
you
through
can
that
forget about the
competition.
How is your
squirrels. You
question
can
any more
forget about
important
the
than mine?
drinking competition. You can forget about what question you asked. The
Because
problem
my
is the
question
next time
had-
it comes into question, it's going to be for Dad.
My question
then-
had
Looks out for
answers that
Dad.
could have
It's
helped
That
me.
if
Repeat
you
it
haven't
back.
been able, if you haven't been able to figure
Your
that out by
question
now,
just
that's
helps
the way
this
it is.
Stranger that we've only given
Then
things
Dad
to.
doesn't make decisions for the group anymore.
Exactly. I never did. When have I made one before? I've
You
tried to
just
rob
did.
you. I've tried to rob
You
you at every
just did.
corner. When have I ever tried to make a decision for the group before? I've tried to rob you at every corner.
You just did.
When?
The one question is a group decision that you made.
What are
Nobody,
you talking
not
about?
one of us, thought about asking each other.
Just say,
No,
hey,
what I'm
let's
saying
talk
is
this
I've
out.
never
Did
tried
I
to
not
do
say,
anything
let's
for the
talk
group.
this out?
I've
And
tried
then
to
you
do
just
everything
asked
for
the
me.
question.
Why
Did-
is
did
this
I
a
not
surprise
say,
to you
let's
guys
talk
now?
this out?
At no time have I ever
We
been
tried
for
to
the
talk-
group before.
I tried to say, let's talk it out.
At
That's
some
all I'm
point, you
saying.
have to
and you
be
just
for
went
the
ahead
group.
and did your thing.
Exactly, because that's what I do.
We are a
If
group.
you haven't figured it out by now, that's the way I am. I rob, I steal. I've been here for the benefit of myself. If you don't like it, I'll be more than happy to leave with my dead army. Otherwise, squash it and let's fucking move forward.
You're dead single. by the way.
We need to talk these things out, or we can't move forward. That's how we move
I'm
forward,
not
is talking it out.
anymore,
Because
man.
if we
I
just
made a
squash
decision
it,
on my own. On to the next thing.
if we just squash it, it doesn't. It
Oh,
gets
it's not
bottled up,
squashed. I've
and it
already
comes up
decided,
next time.
mate. It's already been decided. Let's move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
All right.
So, after a decidedly loud and rambunctious conversation in the middle of it, I believe, you guys sort of jump back in with the cart. Where are we headed?
Where we headed, Dab?
Where we headed, Dab? Is that what it is?
I'd have said the same thing. We don't have a heading.
We need to go back. We could always. I'm looking through the notes. What our multiple missions were.
You have one more, so I'm going to make it easy on you. Basically, you guys have done most of what you've been asked. You've cleared out. You've investigated the old owl well and found out what's there. Darren didn't necessarily say you had to go and murder anything. He basically just said he wanted to know what was there and make sure it wasn't going to hurt anybody. You've already cleared the orcs out of the Wyvern Tor. You've managed to go to Agatha's lair and ask her the one question you were allowed to ask. Now you can either go back to Phandelver, go back to the what was it called? Dab's Den?
I think we called it the Dab Depot.
Who's to say this Banshee would kill us? Why don't we just kill her and take the answers we want anyway?
If she's dead, she can't give us answers.
Well, I would feel more satisfied for not getting answers.
So
Or maybe it is the Dab Den.
Maybe
But
she
isn't Buddy
wants-
still in a castle somewhere too?
No, we got the only other things were that he needed to ask her that question and Thunder Tree.
Yeah, so there was the Thunder Tree, and then, I mean, your overarching thing is that you know that Gundren Rockseeker was taken to the Cragmaw Castle. You don't know the location of that Cragmaw Castle yet, so you still have to ask around to try and find that out. You haven't interrogated anybody for that information, but you know the Cragmaw Castle is somewhere north of Phandelver. You know that Gundren Rockseeker is currently being held there against as well. You assume it's by the Black Spider, but you're not entirely sure. And you also know that the Wave Echo Cave still goes unknown. The location of the Wave Echo Cave still goes unknown and is located on the map that Gundren currently holds, which you presume is in the Cragmaw Castle. The biggest and best point of contact that you guys can think of to move yourselves along and find out is Thunder Tree. You know that there happens to be a druid there that might have the location to the miscreants in that forest.
So it looks like we're heading to Thunder Tree.
That's where you guys sit. Make a nature check real quick. Pino? So you would know that for Banshees specifically, Banshees don't fight. Banshees can be persuaded. They can be, asked, and they will answer a question if they're in favor of you. That's really what the comb provided, or a very high persuasion roll. But generally, they have absolutely no problem turning and running away, and they're damn good at it.
I'm down for doing either. Somebody needs to make a decision.
So what? It was either go to the
Thunder Tree. Thunder Tree sounds like the location is, right?
Or what was the other one, trying to ask the Banshee another question?
I'm pretty much going and
What are we
attacking
going
the
back
Banshee.
to the Banshee for? If we didn't get answers the first time, how are we going to get them the second?
At the end of a sword.
I got no more questions to ask, so
We'll give her that barrel we got there.
Your gloating tone is a bit unbearable at this point, Dad.
it is what it is.
Indeed, mate.
Indeed.
So are we going back to Banshee, or are we going to Thunder Tree?
Let's go to the Banshee. We got
Nobody wants
nothing
to
to
go to the
lose.
Banshee.
Okay, I heard a bunch
No.
there.
No, we're going to Thunder Tree.
All right, so the path to Thunder Tree, as you guys know, you can either move through very heavily wooded and thickened area. You know roughly by looking at your maps where Thunder Tree is located. You know it's about only a 2, maybe a 3-day hike through very rough terrain if you go directly and try and sort of take a direct cross through a very wooded area that you're unfamiliar with, or you can
We
take
would
the
be
safe
going.
road.
We would be going right past Agatha's lair again if we went past that way, so we could always stop there on the way by.
I don't vote going through the woods.
The other option is to go down the Tribor Trail and then hit the high road. Which
That's a long trip, mate.
about 5 days worth of travel.
How long is it
So-
across the woods?
About 3 days.
2 days is nothing for safety.
Yeah, it's true. I can't really argue with that.
We've met enough foes on the trail. What makes you think it's going to be so much safer?
The foes on the trail aren't as strong as the foes in the middle of that thick forest that Agatha's lair is in.
I don't care either way. I'm just
I
riding
do
on the wagon.
believe.
So generally, you guys would tend to want to listen to a druid around the dangers of heavily wooded areas. So you guys take off. You sort of grab your cart. You head your way out of the Old Owl Well. You're moving towards the Tribor Trail. You've got a pretty lengthy spot ahead of you. So what we are going to do is you guys are going to be traveling along the trail. I'm assuming you're going at regular pace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need
The
to break
ox
no
is-
wheels.
Yeah, and the ox is still pulling the cart, correct?
Correct. The ox is pulling the cart. You now have 2 undead squirrels sitting on either shoulder.
And we still have that
Also,
barrel of shit
Dab,
and
you
Pinot.
Yeah, Dab, you now have so you can once per day, right now, once per day you can cast the 3rd level spell Animate Dead.
Animate dead once per day. And now is that going to take us? Is that going to be an ability or is it going to take a spell slot?
That will still take a spell slot. That'll take one of your 2nd level spell slots.
All right.
So you guys are going to come to camp, probably roughly around the midway point between the Old Owl Well and Phandelver, right in the middle of the Tribor Trail. You're going to go just off it. You're going to set up for the night. Really, you're going to sort of settle down. Probably have a little bit more of a hash out from before and make.
Oh, I'm not hashing anything else out.
Oh, okay. You guys are going to have your night. One of you is going to stay up, and we'll find out exactly what happens to this intrepid crew next Monday, and we'll call it there.
This has been D&D for, or what the fuck's it been? D&D with THC.
Exactly what it's been.
With a lot of THC. Thanks for watching D&D with THC. We'll be back again Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the continuation of the Bacon campaign. Fan Friday again this Friday. We haven't really hashed that out yet. Al might be running that one. We're not sure yet.
Looking forward to it. I hope Al is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on it, but I won't make you promise. Honestly, I worked overtime the whole weekend. I haven't really gotten to work on it yet.
That's okay. We'll get her figured out one way or another. We'll definitely let you know. And then again, we'll be back here next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the continuation of Lost Mines of Phandelver. Thanks for watching. Thanks for Jared for another good session, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.